That was
Hello, welcome to
there.
Western Wilds. I'm Joseph Hand, and I briefly forgot, as a 29-year-old man, how to count on my hands.
I was curious to what had
It
occurred
was going
there.
so well. I got literally 60% of the way through. That's a passing grade before I forgot that 1 doesn't come after 3.
Has it been a long day, Joe?
It's been a very long day.
That's fair.
Um,
It's been a long day. I forgot to start the recording until we were already counting.
excellent, excellent. Welcome to Western Wilds, episode 10. I want to say 10?
Yeah.
9? 10.
10. Yeah.
And
10. Ooh, a nice round number. Can anyone tell me what happened last time?
I can.
Go for it.
The morning after healing rest for weary bones. Slowly. Sorry. I can't read my own writing. That's really shitty. Sharing
And I
drinks.
can't count to 5, wouldn't worry about it.
Sharing drinks and discussions of gods with bankers and clerics. An old man made young, the semblance of youth and vigor restored. A gesture to the long dead, though none remain to know it. Upgrades for a banker and an old man, old technology for a new purpose. A journey into town, a promise to keep, though a noose swings empty. The hanged man circles thrice, a curse in blood, and vengeance woken from its slumber. Over the line the deputy goes, the last step he ever takes. Fear of being trapped and caged. A prayer for the dead and the living. The town is gathered, a speech is made. To people in a church not hallowed. Unable to leave, reassured with lies and platitudes, plans to remove the skulls of the dead from above church doors. A barrow falls, a publican dies, skulls removed, but a curse remains. A scream echoes, a finger removed, and the one who cursed this place stands behind the banker, revealing secrets.
Nice. Cool. Feel free to have yourself a merry little inspiration point.
I will.
And yeah, we'll kick back in on a lovely sunny afternoon where nothing's going wrong.
Oh wait, the other thing.
Oh wait, the other thing. You know me so well. What would you guys like to do?
so we ended on a lovely interrogation conversation, something between those two. I turned
Right.
around. Is he? Could I make a perception? Is he truly?
Yeah, absolutely roll your perception, yeah.
22.
22. Okay, you, by any sight or sound or smell sense that you possess, you are completely alone in this, dust blown rooftop of the town. Yeah.
That's fair. I assumed as much, but
Well, it never hurts to check. Not gonna knock the hustle.
And I'm in front of this woman who's cut her finger off. Correct?
Yep.
Is it like still bleeding? Like, is there anything like wounds aren't healing properly here? Is that kind of thing happening?
Only medicine, I would say.
Sure. 7.
It looks like a regular wound. I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah.
I think seeing this woman, I think she would probably still. She'll still cast Cure Wounds on her. Just
Cool.
let the
Yeah,
spell
like you
go
can
through.
see, like that it heals over, as in, like it's kind of the difference between like yours and Augustine's magical healing that you've seen. Is for Augustine, it would you would see it scab over and like age. Yours, I think, for a digit that has been removed, it would probably just heal it over as if it was kind of never there. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Could you pick up the finger and just stick it back on and cast Cure Wounds?
That's a regenerate spell, my friend.
Yeah,
okay.
you actually need to be able to do that. I guess you could stitch it back together and try and accomplish that, but that's a different check.
It would be a medicine check to just raw, like stitch your finger back on. Literally, yeah.
Yeah. So
Although probably much harder now it's healed over.
Yeah. So she just goes, "All right, dear, I'm very sorry, dearie. Please put all the knives and things away for now. Are you okay? You seem to. Do you normally have accidents like this?"
She is not. She doesn't appear to be listening to you.
Hello? Hello?
Uh, uh, can I get that medicine check again with advantage? Now you're sort of looking a little bit closer.
Sure. Okay, that's better. 18 plus 5 is 23.
Oh yeah, you don't know why you missed the first. She's in full medical shock. Like she's in actual like shock.
Right, come on, dearie, we're gonna go sit you down. And like because I saw her through a window, so and we're gonna go sit you down, and you're gonna have a nice cup of water, and you're gonna be.
She doesn't protest in any way. Put it that way.
Yeah. So like I basically like climb through the window and be like.
Yeah. On any other day, she'd protest.
Yeah, I sit her down, give her a glass of water. Probably she's lost some blood. Maybe if I find some sugar, put some sugar in the water to give her some better blood sugars up.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Cool. Steve, what are you doing?
Can I go check out the well? Because am I with you at the moment, right?
Yeah, I think Will wants to go check out the well. He wants to bring Misty along to look at it.
Cool.
Look at the water.
You both head along to the well. The well is sort of off to the north side of town.
Still within the ring, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's just on the sort of the northern sector of the town. Not that this place is huge, to be honest. Yeah, it's a little sort of covered well, like a stone, like cylinder with a little cover on it to stop it evaporating off. It's not like a roof kind. It's just like a flat, like iron kind of panel which gets popped on the well to stop the evaporation. Yeah, what are you looking for?
I want to pull up some water.
Mm-hmm.
And just show it to Misty's magic eyes.
A goodly question. You send the bucket down the well shaft, like tink, 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 tink. You hear the chain going down, and you hear at the bottom as the well goes in. And as you draw it up, it's pretty back-breaking work. It's a big bucket on the end of the chain, and it arrives back up. And Will, you see, just slightly like sandy, like water, like a little bit of sediment in it, but it's not like it's perfectly clean water. Misty with detect magic. It's an interesting question, and one that I should have prepared an answer for. Yeah, I'm gonna say you get that kind of like magical dissonance in your vision of like seeing like when you look at something through 3D glasses but it's not supposed to be in 3D.
Oh right, yep.
You can see that you can see on the one hand with your regular vision it is lovely cool aquifer water from deep below the earth, and then the other is a big bucket of fetid blood.
Okay. Well, first I'll feed that back to Will. I assume we can't see down the well.
Not particularly, no. It's a long way down.
Misty, do you have the ability to make something light up?
Surprisingly, I do not.
You don't have the light cantrip.
No.
Let me just.
I've got a stick of dynamite that will illuminate things very briefly.
But very brightly.
Yeah.
I think magical tinkering. You can touch a tiny non-magical object as an action and make it shed bright light in a 5-foot radius and a dim light in a 5-foot radius.
Oh, yes, because it's in the actions, not the spells. Thank you. Um. So. Well, can I place it on the bucket? Can I
Yeah,
illuminate
absolutely,
the
yeah.
Oh,
bucket?
I was going to drop a stone down because the stone would be less obscuring of whatever's down there.
Yeah, but if we drop the bucket low enough, we can control. Because obviously, if it drops to the bottom, the light might not be able to permeate the liquid.
Fair enough.
There's the
Yeah.
bucket with
So yeah,
float on
we'll
top.
light up the bucket and lower it down.
Cool. Yeah. Again. Yeah. You see that the light goes like the sides of the well for probably 50 feet, and then you can still see the light below, but it's no longer reflecting off the walls. You sense there might be like a bigger space, like an aquifer cavern, um, somewhere down there. Yeah.
Um, would this also be blood-like and tendrily?
When it gets down to the water level, is it just a roiling mass of blood?
On a metaphorical level, yes.
Interesting. Oh, okay. Is there any way to climb down there? That is the question.
Well-
It would be a very tight squeeze.
Will's going to put the cover back on. If we go and speak to the mayor, we might be able to find a way down.
How close are we to the edge of the ring?
A couple
From
of
where we-
100 feet. Like Submarine Hollow isn't a big town.
So just before we do that, Will, can we dig the ground just outside the ring? Because we're sitting on a pool of blood, I'm curious, is just the other side of the ring and actually on the ring line, like, does the blood permeate or is it a dead stop? I'm asking you that because you'll need to do the digging.
That's fine. So will dig for Misty.
So you head out. You go into the picket or the walked circle you found.
First one, then the other.
Very good. You go between two of these little picket stakes that are about a foot apart, and dig down. And yeah, not very far down, that sort of syrupy, dark brown, sludgy blood appears. Will, dry sand. And then as you head out to the
walked circle.
the edge of this geometrically perfect circle that's been trodden in footprints around the town, you dig down, and it's not like a hard cut off like there's a force field,
Okay.
but it's certainly as you dig down, it's like, how far would blood soak through from a corpse into sand? Not hugely far. It's like kind of like that.
It's kind of like it's sat on a lake, and this is the
Shoreline.
shoreline.
Yeah, that's a great way of describing it, actually.
Yeah, cool. Again, I will feed this back to Will.
Okay, does it seem like it starts to dissipate around the circle, the walked circle, or does it start to dissipate from the picket?
It is from the walked circle.
Okay.
So that was clearly part of the incantation.
Yeah, I was curious about the picket itself, but I think the evidence
While we're
doesn't
here,
point that way.
While we're here, I'll ask the question. And I assume this is either going to be an Arcana or possibly History check. have I ever heard of any spells or rituals that involve? Because it was a circle walked 3 times, wasn't it?
Yep.
So circle walked 3 times. I guess some kind of blood curse. Yeah, have I ever heard of it?
And
Roll me-
magically caused accidents.
Your choice of Arcana or Religion. It'd be slightly different information for both.
Yeah. Let's go Arcana. That is a natural 1.
Do you have any inspiration?
Ooh, I do have that little. Yeah, I think this is quite an important role as the townsfolk are literally depending. So I will spend.
Also,
my
I kind of
inspiration
really
points.
don't want to get taken off track by a natural 1 information.
It's not much better. It's only a 3, which will bring it up to a 10.
Okay, so a 10 on like the 15, 20, 25 being bronze, silver, and gold.
Yeah.
You don't know. You were never one for an abjuration kind of thing, which is, you know, all the sort of like the curse breaking classes and all of like the wards and sigils and things like that. About how to. You're very much on the supply side of energy flow
Yeah.
rather than the yeah. You're not sure.
Cool.
You only had the sort of very elementary entries into that kind of class, and this is complex. You do know that there are curses that someone can lay on by like expending spell energy, like the bestow curse spell. This is not that. It is something grander and more complex.
Cool. Yeah. No. Sorry. Well, I don't know. I've got some ideas on how to make it worse, but none on how to make it better.
Maybe keep those ideas to yourself for the moment.
Yeah.
We don't want to make it worse.
Make your grandchildren older all over again.
Yeah, you're saying about the mayor. Should we head back and go find him and the others?
I think it's a good idea.
So, like, weirdly, that's where Lily was headed as well.
On our way back towards the mayor, Will is just going to rip out one of the picket stakes.
Okay. Augustine, what are you up to?
Sorry, you did. I guess my work up here is done. I guess I'll head back to where I could find the nearest person. Like if I catch Miz and Will heading back there, or catch Lily, whoever I see first, I will meet up with them. And I'm not actively investigating.
So what I'm hearing is you're all sort of convening
Converging.
again.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, in which case you all converge. Where did you leave the old mayor? He was
In the church.
Church.
Yeah.
Unconscious.
Yes, he was. Yeah, you head back to the church. There is a very still quiet over the town. You're familiar with like the rustling of wind and in birdsong even. There's a lot of birds in the desert, but it feels very shrouded.
Oh, I have a quick question. When we were here before, did we stock up on water? Did we resupply on water?
You can do.
I mean, no, did we when we were here before?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No, we didn't even know this place was here. I don't think we were intending. We had enough water to get us all the way down to.
And back.
Yeah. So we didn't resupply here at all. That's absolutely
No.
fine. I just wanted to check because if we had, then I was going to pour some out in front of Misty's eyes to see if the water that we'd taken was laced with this curse energy.
Fair. Yeah, you head back into church. You can see the mayor is basically, it hasn't been that long. He's where you left him, sort of lying on a pew on the back row of one of the 8 sides of the church.
So the first thing, right, the townsfolk seem to be injuring themselves somehow, or something weird's happening.
Is the mayor
Hmm.
dead?
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay, cool.
So that would really hamper our interrogation.
I think, right, did anyone find anything out there?
No,
Found the culprit.
Oh, right. Well, elaborate.
I mean, it's who we thought it was. He's
All
gone.
right.
His power is gone. His focus is gone. I didn't see him. I heard him. I spoke to him. This place is cursed.
Anything
gone
huge?
or transferred?
I mean, he has gone. I don't know
Oh, I see.
as to the power transfer. I could not speak to such things.
Say anything or give you any hints about why and how?
I
this is
mean,
done?
his intention was to revenge. Something about this place specifically means that it's going to be difficult to dispel or counter curse or whatever you people like
Can I
to call
get
it.
Can I get a raw? I'm gonna say wisdom check from Augustine there.
I believe he specifically said it had to be here. It could only be here.
That's you sort of catch yourself as you say that. It wasn't that it would be hard to dispel; it would be easy to do. Like something about this place, it's not going to make it like it wouldn't be harder to take away the curse, but it was very easy to bring one down.
I think he specifically said it had to be here. This could only work here.
Mm.
And then he when he was speaking, you were getting it translated by your
Mhm.
doodad, except one word that wasn't.
You did.
I mean, I will repeat that. Rich cannot remember the word, but I will surely repeat most of the conversation as he can remember it.
If I'm honest, in the recording, it's very difficult to hear exactly what the word is. So
Sorry.
yeah, that's not your fault.
Rich,
Yes.
could I get a technology check?
Yes, you can. No.
Shame. Like it occurs to you that you probably could.
You've recorded it. Or...
You could have recorded it, but yeah. If you'd rolled high enough, it would have been you did record it. But
How
Yeah.
well are you able to recall what he said? Specifically because Misty wasn't there. How much have you told the group as to exactly what he said?
Again, this is a failing of Rich rather than a failing of Augustine.
Oh yeah, it was
so-
like 5 minutes ago in character.
yeah. Roll me like a raw int check. Go for like a DC 15.
Me or
Augustine.
13.
Okay. You are trying to remember a word that was said to you only 5 minutes ago, but in a language you don't speak. You remember that the last part of the word was lali. Misty, could I get a raw int check from you, please?
Yes, because I, as a player, remember something. That is a 21.
That is a place name suffix in Coyotl.
Yeah, that didn't get translated because that's the name of a place, or part of a name of a place.
Must be the name of this place in Kuayatl. Perhaps it has some meaning to them.
We need to find out what happened here. The mayor is our best bet, but
Right.
short of lighting dynamite, I'm not very threatening. Who else
Well,
would like to have a go?
I'm quite threatening, but I don't think that's going to work. I think he's just going to pass out again. But I have a feeling I asked him several questions in this vein already. But I think I know there might be a town charter or something that tells about the beginnings of the town that I'm gonna see if he's got. So I'm gonna I'm gonna if he's sitting in the pew, I'm gonna lean against the pew behind me, and then just put my boot up next to his side, and then just give him a slap on the face to wake him up.
Oh, I was just going to throw water on him, and some of our water, not the cursed water. Oh yeah, Misty and Will will also say, yeah, the weird blood magic curse thing goes all the way to the edge of the warped circle, and it's in the water source. It's in the well. We look down the well, and it's just a roiling lake of blood, according to Misty's eyes. And we lifted up the bucket, and the water was just looked like blood to her magic eyes.
Oh, so good to know, or not. Wake up.
Yeah, hold that thought. Smack. I say no check required. You bring him around. I think he wasn't fully like fainted at this point. He was sort of just dozing, but you definitely sort of started.
Hello, hi dearie. We need you to actually do your job, protect the town at the moment. Right, good. The town charter, yeah, it details the founding of the town, about why it was founded, where it was founded, and the people who were here at the beginning and all that.
That I can tell you. That the people who were here, that I can tell you.
Right, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it. Like as not, the records will be in the church rather than anywhere else.
Probably, or his house.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I think he'll sort of take you over to unlike like Fort Morgan's church, for example, which had a little accessory, cloister or like chapel thing. This he goes over and where like the priest's quarters would be has been sort of just been converted into a bit of like a dumping ground, basically, for ecclesiastical church-related things that don't really have a home elsewhere in the church. And he does dig out like a big. When I say like leather-bound book, I don't mean like a Bible or a holy text. This is more like a record book. Augustine, especially, you start to salivate at a record book. This you see. Think of all the identity fraud we could commit with this brain. Yeah.
Oh, Rich has a new goal.
You start to flick through. Yeah, you can see that this town was incorporated. Town incorporation is where a town is officially registered with the government of Harlan, with the records office there. It's also referred to as getting staked because that is where you get the pickets to go around the outside. It's what gives you legal protection as a town because you can just fucking found the town any way you like. But sheriffs wouldn't come and deliver post. They wouldn't protect you from any kind of marauding bandits until the town is incorporated. This town was incorporated about.
Joe checks his timeline.
Yeah.
To the law.
Because it's not going to be important or anything. I'm just persnickety like that.
I couldn't tell either way. If it was important or if you were just being persnickety.
About 13 years ago. So the original inhabitants, the people who sort of applied for the incorporation license, were or are all military personnel. They all have private or sergeant or a couple of corporals. Like there's one first lieutenant. But can I get a history check from anyone who is poring over this book?
Yes, because I too, and I'm convinced that we need to know about the history of this town. Oh, that's a 2 for a total of 9. I am not rolling well tonight.
21.
21? Ryan?
20.
I got a 5. I rolled better than Misty.
With a natural 20 and got a worse total, I think. With a natural 20 out of 21. the names all are tending towards either Tralvoldian or Rowenian, which are hallmarks of all of these people. There's too much of a concentration for it to be a coincidence. This looks like it was all Firebird people. So while there is military rank, it is a private army rather than the Harlan army. And in the early days, you know that the Firebirds were still applying for incorporation. Whereas with some of their newer company towns, they just don't bother anymore. They don't see the benefit of, you know, ascribing to being a part of the Harlan governmental system.
Hmm. Yeah. So this is basically a Firebird town that they've abandoned because there's no.
We don't even know they've abandoned it because it's practically right on Elysium's doorstep.
What's your passive insight?
Passive insight's 15, I think.
15.
Oh,
16.
no, 17, sorry.
17. Okay. With your passive insight and the natural 20 in history, the vibe that you get is that this may have been just one of many towns that were set up, and then the Firebirds got. So, like, they incorporated a bunch of towns very quickly in the early days. This was before you arrived, but you have travelled, you know, fairly extensively across the human parts of Volan. And you've come across a lot of similar towns where, you know, there's a lot of Firebird sympathy or loyalty. Or even, like, I mean, there's a big Firebird emblem up in the bar here. That it is very much a company town. You know, it's a mining town. There are mines near here. But the sorry, my brain is not doing super well today. Yeah, like you get the sense that like the Firebirds very much founded this town. Their fingerprints are all over this place, but none of the current inhabitants really tend to be, and certainly there's no military like presence here. Partly because you know it's so much on, as Will points out, on the doorstep of Elysium, that they could have soldiers here in a day if they really wanted to, or maybe less. If you're pouring again through this sort of town charter, and when you get to a different like block of signatures, which all tend to be sort of fairly close together, of like people who like signed on leases and things like that, and it appears that the like the mayor, for example, was sort of quote unquote promoted to being mayor of a town, and before, as he pointed out last week, was like early when you spoke to him earlier today, he was like just kind of a clerk. They wanted a presence here next to these valuable mines and at this road nexus, and they wanted it loyal, but they still had a finite army. They couldn't control all of Harlan with military might alone.
So,
Does this make sense what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Will's going to point at the names and just ask the mayor, are any of these people still in the town?
Like he sort of is running his finger down the list. The first one he gets to is his own name. And says that no, none of the people who are like above him in like pre situation are still in the town.
Well, we know this used to be a coyotal settlement.
I believe there was some kind of skirmish or battle here, yeah, but I don't know about a town.
Given our current information from what we're discovering, I don't think skirmish is probably the wrong word in this case. Skirmish would imply two opposing forces that met each other on equal terms and footing. I have a feeling the firebrands came here and slaughtered women, children, innocents, and all kinds of things, and left the bloods out and all this. Got on good authority for that. But that's not your fault, dearie. I just need to find somebody who actually knows what happened and can figure out what we can do to make this go away.
We don't care if someone did something bad back in the past. We're just trying to save people in the here and now. We're not executioners, we're not judges, we're not juries. We are not here to pass judgment on what has already happened.
Can I get an insight check from anyone who would like to make one?
Could I also ask Brad, out of character, you keep saying firebrand. Is that an intentional...
Fire... No. I
You do mean to say firebird. It's not that we're... We don't need to pick up on the fact that you keep saying the wrong thing intentionally.
No, that's just a Brad thing.
I'm just acclimatized to it now.
21 on insight.
19 on insight.
Nice. If you want to know why they're called the Firebird Company, a housemate of mine once had an interview with a company called Phoenix Acquisitions, who had the dodgiest business practice of any company that any of us had ever even heard of. And so when I was trying to come up with the name for the evilest company I could, I just used that and just swapped it out for synonyms. Yeah, 21 insight. You get the vibe that this guy would really love to tell you, and he simply doesn't know, and that's a problem for him. He doesn't look guilty though. He doesn't look like he feels guilty.
You don't appear to be guilty or anything like that. You don't appear to have any kind of... Is there any other records of the town or anything like that somewhere around?
I'd have to say it'd be in Elysium if it were, but or maybe Harlem.
I don't suppose you have any way of quickly contacting Elysium to get them to come out here, do you? I mean, you're out.
No,
you're on your
short
own.
of sending a writer out, but
Yeah, you can't do that right now, dearie.
yeah.
Right. There is one of the person we spoke to. The bartender here, he used to be part of the Firebirds, yes?
Yeah.
Well, I am in the go. I think I'll have a word with him. Maybe he knows something. Maybe he.
The bartender's the one who the barrel dropped on.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh.
I know. I already thought about. Oh, we could speak to. No, we can't. He's never speaking to anyone again.
Shit, can I cast that spell? Oh no, I can't cast that spell till it's a 3rd level spell.
I've got a question. Okay, so we've noticed that there's a large cavernous water space beneath the town that the well goes into. Is there any kind of access down there?
The only access I could imagine would be in the mines.
Okay. Whereabouts the mines?
He sort of like points off like up the. There's like the road that comes up the one that you came down through the mountain pass.
Mm-hmm.
There is also one that goes eastwards along the mountain range, and that's the one that has. So if you would be going north back up to Fort Morgan, once you reach those foothills, instead of going north and up, north and uphill, you would just go east and along.
Wait, do the mines run underneath the town?
Some of the shafts, I believe so. Yeah.
Have you mined up anything recently?
I mean, they're. It's an active mine, sure.
Have you mined up
Is that-
anything interesting recently?
Not that I know of. There's a lot. I'm not one of the miners. You'd have to ask one of the foremans, or.
Alright.
Is this town noteworthy of ever mining up something special within its history?
Silver.
Other than that, nothing that you're aware of. Okay.
Okay. Who can we speak to? What foremans can we speak to?
He will give you directions to a couple of people's houses.
Right. Speak to them next. See if we can get something out of it. I've got a spell, but I need to figure out a question. Press ask, and it's a bit of a wild. The results aren't exactly specific, unfortunately.
I'm going to be right back actually with the link.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. So out of character, I'm thinking of casting augury, but I don't know what to ask.
What's the description of augury again?
Blah, 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 blah.
Is this the one that gives you just wheel or woe as the answer?
Wheel, wheel and woe, or nothing.
Okay.
So I can eliminate a potential and like avenue. It's like, but
Will we waste our time if we go into the mines?
So I'm
that's
wondering.
that's a pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because if
Yeah.
I feel like we are on a timer here, and if we can just rule out that avenue of investigation, then we don't have to, go. Then we can save time by not having to go underground and search in through a
Yep,
cavernous area.
Yeah, I can I can do one time, and it will be accurate. After that, it's a crapshoot to see what the results are.
Okay, so regarding using augury for should we go into the mines, I think we need to be a bit more specific with the question. Like, will we be able to resolve this issue to our satisfaction by going into the mines? Maybe.
Perhaps will we be able to remove the curse by going into the mines?
Rich is our resident banker and lawyer type person. Can you think of any loopholes that could be used?
You gonna roll me a history check?
I was more thinking, is the information we need to end the curse within the confines of the town?
It would depend what information you need.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want access to the caves within the town, the quickest route is through the well, surely.
It's a squeeze, though.
I was just thinking it's a red herring.
Yeah.
That's why I want to use this spell to just completely rule out the
Exclude it.
mines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it gives us a direction in which we can follow.
That's true, because if it comes back as wheel, it'll go, yes, go that way, because that's a positive.
Yeah.
Do we? Yeah.
If it goes
sorry.
with wheel and woe, then it means that you could fix it down there, or you could do it up here. I guess.
True.
I have another theory. Do we still have the skulls?
We took them
You
out of
you knocked them out of the masonry, but you still have them.
Could we form effectively a bridge? So you've got two lines. Half of them are inside the circle, and the other half are outside.
Are there three, by the way?
No, there were a lot more than
20 or
3.
30.
Okay.
Yeah. So either the bridge will allow. What happened when someone tried to cross the barrier? Were they horribly ripped apart?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Like they were mauled by dogs.
Okay. So.
Or coyote.
So the other possibility, and this one's much safer to test, to see if we can because if we consider this like a lake of cursed area, if we form the bridge, does it open up a gateway to allow the negative energy to bleed out?
Well, and just bleed it out into the rest of the country.
Yeah, but it'll dissipate into the air, maybe.
Could I get a perception check from everybody?
Oh God, who's gonna die now?
19.
Nat 20.
3.
Very clearly from a few, like not streets away, a few like buildings away, you hear the very telltale sound of like glass breaking, and then
Like an explosion.
not like an explosion, a concussion to it.
So,
Right,
like
okay.
something
Should
catching
give some
fire
more-
very violently.
Didn't you give some old woman something to if there was trouble, dearie? To throw it into the
If you look
fireplace?
outside, is there a signal of some description?
No, but one of the houses across the street is fucking on fire.
Well, I mean, that's a signal.
It's not the signal you asked for.
Like, run.
It's the one they deserve.
Oh.
I don't...
Push them out the door and start going.
Yeah,
No,
let's go.
with a grand total of 3 on my perception, Will's just like,
Fire.
I will
go.
physically hold your head and point it at the fire.
oh right.
Point it in the direction of the fire. I'm not setting you on fire. Just
Like, I think as we're going, Lily says, "Get the rest of the villagers to get a bucket brigade for this now." To the mayor specifically.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he will start doing things.
You want to pour cursed water on a thing that the curse caused?
That's how you make curse steam.
Oh no, not curse steam.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
I think
also-
Will is going to charge towards the building.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you can see that it looks like basically just like a glass lantern that was hung up on the as it's it's been lit as it's getting towards that sort of 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. It's just the lanterns are being lit in preparation, and one of them has just fallen and spilled oil, which is then, and you can see like a hay, like a manger for horses or ants to take hay from, has just caught, and the wooden weatherboarding of the side of one of the houses has caught alight in quite spectacular fashion.
Okay. And can we? Okay, is there a body in the midst of the fire?
No.
Okay. Can we see anyone in the windows or anything?
You can see you can hear like coughing certainly from inside, but it's not where the fire is, it's more the smoke.
Okay. And what is this building made of?
Wood.
Wood.
So I see the bucket brigade starting to come up there.
Give me just a hot tickety second. You hear the mayor like calling for the bucket brigade, and no one's exiting their houses to help.
Will is going to create a heavy maul,
Yeah.
and he is going to attempt to break down a side of the wall that is not on fire.
Okay.
Like as he's like.
Oh, hang on,
going to
there are
scream
windows, aren't there? Yeah, maybe not the heavy maul. He maybe just his glaive. He just go and use the butt end of it to break in a window.
What you can see is like there's like a gabled roof above this building. So it's wooden weatherboarding and then a gabled roof, and the flames are sort of wicking up this weather. This dried wood is catching like quite a lot of. It's caught a whole side of the building very quickly. Can I get a nature check?
everyone, or
From anyone who's yeah.
11.
16?
5.
15.
The 15 and the 16. It almost feels like the fire should be spreading. If it's spreading this fast, it should be spreading further. Will, you stove the glass in of the door, and there is a bit of a backdraft of like fire. Could
Well, I was going for a window that I could then dive through.
Fine, yeah. There's a bit of a could you make a athletics check, s'il vous plaît?
14.
14. Yeah, you dive through. You sort of fuck it, half a one. Never mind. You would take a single point of fire damage, but
It just
basically-
scratches along my arm.
Exactly that. Yeah, broken glass and fire, but you avoid the worst of it. And you can see, there's a man in here. Like he looks like some kind of like he's plainly dressed, but like well dressed, if that makes sense. So like he's taking pride in his appearance, even if he's not particularly richly attired.
Just having a quick glance about. Do I see like a big Firebird flag on the wall?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to bodily pick this gentleman up. Is he just sat there coughing and not moving? Like, is he conscious and just letting the smoke take him, essentially?
No, I mean, bear in mind you're only about 15 seconds into. It does look like the door, though, is a part of the wall that is affected by the fire.
All right. Well, I'm going to bodily pick him up, or at least hoik him out of wherever he's stood or sat, whatever. And I am going to just lever him out the window.
Cool. Could I get you to make 2 dex saves, please?
Oy. And okay, so regarding these dex saves, are these to A, avoid accidentally slitting his throat on the glass,
No.
and B, accidentally avoid breaking his neck as I topple him onto his own head?
One is for you, one is for him.
Yeah. Could I take disadvantage on my own to give him advantage?
Absolutely.
So I shall roll myself first. This is the disadvantage. That was a natural 20 and a natural 16, so that's a 15.
Is that 15 for him?
that-
Sorry.
That was
It's
15. 15 for me, I said I was doing myself first.
Cool.
And for him, this is with advantage.
Yeah.
That came out of the... So I'm re-rolling that. Natural 20.
Very nice. You barrel this guy out the window. You dive out after him, and as you do so, you hear like crack as one of the supporting beams of the roof like fully gives way in this intense heat. And you see there is like an iron weather vane on the corner of the building with a big pointed iron arrow, and it topples forward, and with a speed that would have belied you yesterday, you basically just like Krav Maga, like palm into his chest, push him, like hit him, punch him backwards, and he like stumbles, takes 2 steps, and then comes down sort of quivering in the dirt directly where he would have been standing. And as that lands, the flames on the dry wooden building just gradually wick out.
Right.
So this guy was targeted. Have we worked out who this guy is yet? Sorry.
Not yet,
I
no.
might-
So yeah, I'm going to go to... You. Were you here at the founding of this town? Were you here before the founding of this town?
No.
Who are you?
No, I've only been here about 5 years. I got a mining contract with the
Are you,
um.
dearie? Are you okay though?
I mean, he looks like not okay, but he is, like happy to be alive right now.
How close were you this morning at the execution of the Creator? How close were you to the gallows?
I didn't go.
Were you in the mine?
No, I was in bed.
You're in bed.
What do you do here?
He's a miner, right?
Well, I'm an administrator for the mine.
Apart
Do
from
you know if they've dug up anything outside the ordinary here?
A lot of silver, but even that deposit's running dry.
anything other than silver?
Pig iron, bits of, copper and tin occasionally. It's quite an ore-rich area, but the silver remains what the mine's there for.
No, nothing like archaeological, like old relics or stuff from a previous occupant. None of that.
Nothing's come out like that. Not at least not in the time I've been here.
All right. No worries, dearie.
What time was the hanging, out of curiosity? Just out of character.
Dawn.
It was at dawn.
Dawn.
Okay, so that's why we were still in bed.
You're in bed at dawn. The publican didn't go either. Wonder if that woman did. Where's his house?
This
Like
guy's house.
Yeah, is it the edge of town by chance?
About. So if you are, if you imagine the town as like a dartboard, he's on the triples.
Okay.
So, okay. Do you? How much do you know about the history of the mine?
It was. I know it was there before we got here.
So the mine existed before this town was founded.
Yeah.
All right. I need to borrow you for a second, my friend. All right. It's gonna feel a bit strange, but you've had a brush with death recently, so I kind of need to use you for a bit. And I
Sure.
put my hands on his face, and I just cast augury through him. As a person who's just been brushed with death, you have a need a tie to her.
All right.
And then I ask, will we be able to remove the curse by going into the mines? Is the best question we can ask.
Whoa.
So he says whoa, and he's thank you very much, dearie. Right. Not the mines, gentlemen.
Okay, just, out of character briefly. That's a good use of the spell. Now we can just rule out that avenue of investigation.
Yep.
When you cast augury, who is it that you're asking?
Say, dearie, I suspect I'm asking the old woman.
Isn't isn't it deliberately not your deity with all grace?
It's-
Because like divination is asking your god, but
You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity.
Doesn't say it's not your god.
Yeah, it's vague as hell.
So you can flavour it however you want. So yeah, if you follow a deity, then
If you want to ask your deity specifically, I would say that's a reasonable interpretation of the spell. If you specifically don't want to ask your deity, I think that's also a reasonable interpretation of the spell.
like if you're a wizard that gets that, then
You're asking the etheric magics around you to determine what they know. In this case, I think Lily is asking literally the spirit of death, and those that have been brushed close by it.
Cool.
Right. Try to keep somewhere safe and shady.
Unless a tree falls on him, Granny.
So ordinarily, I'd say he should go into the church. But it doesn't. I'm looking around. None of the buildings are. He's not going to be safe really
I
anywhere.
think the magic will find a way, no matter what.
The magic will find a way. Yes, unfortunately, I think that's true. So,
Well, the church is a public
Yeah.
place. Why don't you go
Yeah.
rest in the church and pray?
What is the miner wearing?
Like a not so much like a long coat as like a jacket, and with just a plain sort of linen shirt underneath, and like a he looks like he's got hat hair, like he is used to wearing a hat, but is not currently.
Are there any emblems or anything on his clothing? No. Okay, it's fine. Well, unless anyone else has got any ideas, I'll start making the skull bridge.
Given we have a signatory of the original incorporation of the town, is it worth trying to legally ease our way out of this situation by effectively unchartering a town?
Point of clarification: you don't have an original signatory. The mayor is the oldest one, but he assigned the town charter rather than the documents of incorporation.
Right. What? So was there no one from? When I said, is there anyone in this list? I was looking for people who signed the documents of incorporation.
but if you're trying to metaphorically remove the fact that the town exists, we could just pick up the stakes. The picket fence around the town, that's what determines whether or not a town is a town. In terms of the physical aspects of it, the paperwork is material.
Never underestimate the power of a contract, good sir.
Oh,
I suppose that's true.
Did I ask you a contract with the Harlan Drawwell Union Bank?
well, why not do both? Burn the contract and pick up the stakes.
Town no longer exists. Maybe the curse goes with it. It's possible.
Should we start doing that before more people die?
Just a point of clarification, Joe.
Yeah.
There were none of those original signatories that founded the town were still in the town. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. They are not. They are a list of basically military personnel. In fact, the first signature is the highest ranked. It looks like, again, with that natural 20 history from Lily earlier and the insight passive as well, like the most highly ranked person signed the document, and then it was just passed around from subordinate to subordinate to subordinate until enough signatures were acclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Misty, you pick up a bunch of skulls
Yep.
and head to the edge of town. And you start almost like dry stone walling with a bunch of skulls, which is sort of macabre. But then again, you carry skulls around all the time. And again, it's this very quiet, oppressive silence, like an unnatural silence. And then just out of the corner of your sensory range, just out of the perception, you hear it's coming from one of your pockets.
It's your phone,
I'm
Mike.
getting a call. Yes. Yeah. I was worried that, I don't know, something was starting to
Bubble away.
overflow. Yeah.
No, that's your
Yeah.
ringtone.
Yes. Okay, excuse me. I sometimes forget my ringtone when building a bridge of skulls across a cursed village.
You hyperfixated. It's fine.
Yeah. I will continue doing what I am doing, but I will answer the call and kind of hold it up against my shoulder.
Yeah, lovely.
Did you not get an earpiece yet?
I much prefer the visual that I probably could hook it up to an earpiece.
Oh,
I'd
but
much
you're
prefer
right. The
that.
visual of going, yeah, huh?
Paired it, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to speak up. I got skulls in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you swipe up on your little mirror, and it goes. Hey there, Misty Love. Just checking in, seeing how you're doing.
Oh, hi. Uh, yeah, good.
Keeping
I'm
it
doing.
cool?
Trying to stop it actually. Yeah.
So what kind of pickle you in, you love?
Well, um, yeah, you might know actually. So the town that we're currently visiting appears to have been affected by some kind of blood death curse. Um, so that's the bad news. Good news, I wasn't there at the time, so I'm not affected. But
Well,
all the
that's good.
towns,
That's lovely.
yeah, all the townsfolk are dying though, so we're trying to stop that from happening. I'm building a bridge with skulls in the hopes to vent away the blood curse. So it was formed. It was finalized by a hanged coyotl who then got got up, presumably post death. Again, we weren't there, and walked around the town 3 times. Translation's a little fuzzy, but we think he's imbued his power or transferred the power into the town. The catch being that it's been built. Well, I think it's been built on a graveyard.
Right.
And now it's seeking vengeance on all the residents and killing them.
Aye, that's a problem. Yeah, it's never much fun for curses. I don't know if you took any classes in it, but yeah, it's not my area expertise.
No, I mean, by all means, have a little ask around.
Aye, there's a couple. I don't have many friends in the abjuration department. Is the thing, that's kind of opposite of my whole deal. But I can have a little ask around.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person, but time is a factor.
Okay, well, I'll let you go. I'll give you a bell if I hear anything. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye, love.
Very calm conversation for what's happening.
The worst phone a friend response ever.
Yeah.
I mean, from Ignatius' point of view, you're doing exactly what she told what she told you, which is let everyone else die first. So, yeah.
Yeah, I told her I was fine. So
What are you trying to achieve with?
I think it's less of a bridge from your description. It's more of a shunt.
yes, that would be a good way of. So imagine that this is like a bubble of evil death, and I'm trying to poke a straw through it and
Siphon
let
out the evil death.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
This isn't based on any actual knowledge. Like,
I mean, I still think that this is, if it, or it'll have to go somewhere, assuming it doesn't just dissipate. I think there is a very real chance that you're going to poison the countryside with this.
well, in that case, get pulling up them stakes quick then.
Does Misty still have the detect magic still active?
How long does it last?
No, definitely not. By
It takes 10 minutes to cast. If you're doing a ritual, it takes 11 minutes to cast, and then it's up for 10 minutes, and so then you need to spend another 11 minutes to cast it.
So once I've so Will, if you're throwing up serious objections,
no, this was Ryan. This was Ryan saying that.
So assuming I finish before the others have pulled up all the stakes, what would happen is once I finish the shunt, I would then ritual cast detect magic to see if I can see it escaping.
Cool. What I'll say is roll me roll me an Arcana check, but add your charisma instead of your intelligence here.
Oh, okay. So was it Arcana? Did you say?
Yeah.
So that's an 18 on the dice. It's a dirty 20 with the charisma, and I'm proficient, so that's 22.
Okay. Let me have a think.
That is fine.
Because I like the idea. It's not the solution I had in mind, but I like the idea.
Fine.
Where are the rest of you guys as this is happening?
I think we're trying to pull up the stakes, basically. Pulling it up.
You are at this point, by the way, like cloud is coming over, like that big dark storm cloud that you saw. Oh, that's hitting the town at this point, and there is a big crack of thunder and lightning in the distance over the hills. Lily and Augustine, can you both roll me a perception check?
Seven.
Perception 14.
14. You can see that there is a horse tied up, like an actual horse as well, which is impressive. And among a stable of other, like a couple of ants and a beetle and stuff, in one of the little sort of saddleries or in the town. And this is as you're going along picking up the stakes. There's a big rumble of thunder comes over, and you can see like some of the ants and the beetles all startle, and the horse startles as well. And you can see they begin to like slam against the sides of the pens, and someone like ducking under and sort of hat over low and sort of trying to stay low walks over to sort of try and calm the animals. As Misty, as
Hi.
you want to spend spell slots about this?
For what? Sorry. Or
For your shunt.
oh.
You want to just charge this with magic and see where it goes?
After I've I did so once it's completed, I'd ritual cast detect magic. If I'm seeing it's having no effect,
You can see that you have like interfaced the shunt with the boundary, but it's not currently doing anything.
okay. I think spell slots will be the next direction after we've pulled out all the boundary sticks.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, you can see Augustine and Lillian. You can see the horse begins to go absolutely buck wild, and starts.
I cast calm emotions this because I can see what's about to occur, so I just go.
Yeah, that guy's head was about to get staved in by a horse.
Could you roll me an opposed spell attack?
Ooh.
Oh no, this is even worse. Oh shit.
20.
20.
Oh no, sorry. Yes, 20. Yes.
That was a good one to roll high on. Misty.
Hi.
You are on the outside, on the very border.
Yep.
And you feel as you can see this lightning crackle come down, and as you are standing on this borderline, you're basically standing over this borderline. You feel energy begin to sort of charge in the circle. And it is at this point that you hear like the commotion from the stables.
The storm overhead, now that I assume detect magic is up at this point. The storm overhead, is that also blood
No,
even
not in any way.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't appear to be anyway.
So I can hear the commotion.
You could, yeah, but you can feel energy charging
In
into
in
the, yeah.
in that case, yeah. Can I? I've got 2 spell slots remaining. Can I pump both of them into the shunt?
Both of
Please?
them. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. You basically find a loose loop of magic and just pour magical energy into it. And as the thunder crackles, Lillian, you cast Calm Emotions and send this sort of like requiescat in parce kind of energy into this the calm of death kind
Hmm.
of thing. And as Misty zaps energy into the circle, just for a second, as the lightning flashes in the same instant, you see this like dark shade, tall, slightly hunched over, just whispering into the horse's ear.
So
And
like,
you hit it with the spell, and you see the horse calms immediately.
hmm,
Rolled a 7 on the opposed check for this end.
cool.
And the shade doesn't appear to acknowledge that it simply
This
takes
because
a. Sorry, Karen.
so calm emotions is an area. So did it also get affected by the same spell, or does it seem immune?
It does not appear to be affected by the spell.
Okay.
Um, but it sort of takes a step and just fades as it takes the step.
Right. There are things here I can't see. Whispering into. So they're doing it to themselves by being influenced. All right. Need to find.
You get the vibe that whatever tried to happen here was unsuccessful.
Yeah. Because of my interference or because of something else?
Specifically because of your interference. You sense that there was something else which let you see it.
Right. Just need to then. All right. There are creatures, I think. I've seen one. I need to go find somebody else. And yeah, I go looking for anyone, first person I kind of run across, I guess.
Yeah.
So who would I run across first? I guess maybe I would run across because we were pulling the pickets up, and I guess with me and Augustine, we'd go, okay, you start here, I start here. We'll go around both sides, and then we'll meet back up in the middle.
Yeah.
And yeah, I go right. Should I finish this or should I go? Right, I'll finish pulling my pickets out, and then I'll meet up with Augustine at the same time when we get to the end, anyways. So that seems to make the most sense. So I'll do that.
Cool. Yeah, you go back to unpicketing. Cool.
I like that's a thing.
Will, what are you doing right now?
I'm not sure. I think I'm in the middle of town, keeping an eye out for more accidents.
Roll a perception check.
Bollocks. These. I think I need new dice because these are not working for me. I rolled those natural 20s earlier.
Yeah.
That was a natural 10.
Natural 10.
With a +1, that's an 11.
Okay, you are keeping an eye, and you can tell the wind is beginning to howl through the streets of the town. There's no tall buildings here, but it's whipping across like the prairie desert, and you're sort of like holding your hat on with one hand, but the streets are like fully abandoned. No one is stepping outside.
Well, that's what Will's going to do. He is, like, I guess, patrolling.
Yeah. Cool. I'll bear that in mind. Lillian, Augustine, you meet up. Who do you think gets to the halfway point first? Who does?
Lillian, without question, like Augustine has a strength of -1 to begin with, and on top of that, Augustine doesn't care really what happens in this
Excellent.
town.
Fair enough. Like that's honestly a fair point. You
I think
start yanking stakes and you go around. Like I say, you both start at like 12 and go opposite directions. I think Lily, you probably get even with your little intervention, you get to maybe 7 before Augustine gets to. You meet at the 7 o'clock. Like yeah, but you have destaked and yeah, there is no legal protection for anyone in this town anymore. Congratulations.
We'll put it back. We'll put them back. We'll put them back later.
so we meet up with Augustine's. Like, I think I saw something. I saw the thing. I think that's doing all this. It's some kind of shadowy creature, whispering in whatever it can's ears to get our eyes out of it. I guess.
Is that what the Kyoto's become
It
after
could
death?
be.
I mean, when I, for lack of a better word, met him earlier, he certainly seemed more air than man. Kyoto at that point. When I turned around, he was gone, despite sounding like he was standing right next to me.
Like right behind your ear.
Mm.
Lillian, can I get a religion or arcana check for your choice?
We'll go with religion just because that feels more right. It's probably the same on both. 16 total.
You're discussing this with Orsine, and you say like I think there's creatures, but you've used that calm emotion spell before, would you say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
that's very close to, yeah.
calm a crowd
Um,
or yeah.
yeah, that spell. You're right. It targets creatures, but that creature, well, that the shape you saw, like the outline, it's almost like a silhouette you saw, but only like in the sort of negative lightning flash. It didn't react at all. Like to use sort of out of game words, you didn't see it make a wisdom save.
Right.
If it was a creature, you think it would have.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. It's like an effect or something, but there is something wandering around whispering in people's ears, trying to get them to do horrible, terrible things. I don't think the people are completely innocent. I think they're doing this to themselves. If we want to keep them alive, maybe we can tie them all up. Maybe that'd work. It's a risky one because what I saw was the horse being whispered to slowly, and
The rope of the barrel didn't get cut; it snapped. The lantern didn't get thrown; it fell.
Delicate touches.
Subtle movements, things that are easy to do to push. I mean, we could sit them in the middle of the field, and although then they might get hit by lightning. This is going to be very complicated, I think. But let's go see. Maybe Misty's come up with something.
Yeah. So what do I see after I pump the spell slots into the bridge?
You feel that your energy passed into the circle, but unlike when you, for example, do you use like Tasha's Caustic Brew or like what spells do you have?
So catapult, detect magic, featherfall, healing word, identify, jump, long strider, ray of sickness, Tasha's caustic brew.
Ray of Sickness is a good one there. If you cast Ray of Sickness, you send out like a zero sum parcel of energy. Like it passes out there, and you have expended energy, and it's gone because the effect has happened.
Yeah.
You almost feel that the energy that you put into the circle has remained in the circle. If this had any effect, it'll probably continue to have that effect now.
Interesting.
With your detect magic up,
Yeah.
are you seeing the energy bleeding out through the shunt you've made?
That no. The energy that I've injected,
Yeah.
is there any way that I can differentiate that from the evil energy? So what I'm trying to ask is, have I inadvertently boosted the strength of this spell, or
No,
have I
you've done something different. You
I-
have, if you, it would,
I've added a volatile element?
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Um.
Your pocket is ringing again.
I will answer it again.
Hey, love, it's me again. I just ran into Buckley in the student union bar. He's got a few words to say if you don't mind.
Whatever you do, don't put any magic slots into the circle.
Yeah. Uh.
Hello, Misty, darling. How's it going? I haven't seen you in yonks, old girl.
Hi.
So you are aware of Buckley, who is an abjuration mage. He is an abjuration academic, and has a reputation for being very, very affable and absolutely fucking cutthroat academically. People joke about him, how he would, stab someone in the eye if they cheated him out of an academic reference, and it's mostly a joke.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody. Well done.
Hello. So, Iggy here tells me you're having some problem with a bit of a curse there.
Yes. I think it's a curse. I assume it has to be, right?
Well, what's going on, Elsport?
Oh, town probably built on old graveyard. Killed Coyotl, got up, walked around the town 3 times, and I think injected energy to initialize some form of revenge curse that is attacking or killing the inhabitants. If they attempt to cross the boundary of the spell, they are ripped to shreds. Otherwise, they're dying by accidents.
Oh, but when you say accidents,
Like a barrel fell on someone, someone's house caught fire. Yeah.
is this an arcano-semiotic curse or one that's been cast by a spell?
Maybe.
Could you roll me an Arcana check?
Yes. 26.
So you don't know what he's talking about because you didn't take his module.
Yeah.
But
He's not going to be happy about that.
I was worried he'd take my eyes.
But you are pretty sure this wasn't like the bestow curse spell, which is what he's referring to. In fact, when you were speaking to the Coyotl in the prison, he specifically mentioned that he was out of spell slots, or he would have done something about it.
So at the point of the curse started, I don't think it was caused by the casting of a spell by the individual. Now, they may have done something leading up to that, because before he was hanged, he said he'd used his spell slots, but that could also be trying to escape from his captors.
So it was executed.
Yes.
Death curses are nasty. They tend to be a bit cloying. Well, of course, any adherence to the advanced curses module would, of course, know that there are 3 parts to any curse. Of course, there's what's called the altar, the rite, and the sacrifice. The altar is the place where the curse is performed. It could be anything. It's a loose sort of the semiotics of it are a little fuzzy on the edges. The rite is whatever praxis is performed, whatever words or incantations, and the sacrifice is the injection of energy into the system. You're a chemist, Misty O'Gallon. You're a catalyst, activation energy.
Could the sacrifice come before the rite?
Most certainly, there's no reason for any of them to happen in any particular order.
Okay, that
I'd start there, old girl. Of course, if I was more of a field scientist, I'd be out there with you. But I'd look at those.
yeah. That's lovely, and not that I want
Bunty, a
to.
creme de menthe, if you will.
How long have you been in the bar?
Me?
Yes.
Not long.
Oh, that's good. I can ask this question then without. That's lovely. If I wanted to stop or reverse this, how would one go about doing that?
You reverse it.
I see. And if the sacrifice was death, does that mean we have to bring someone back to life?
You're thinking far too literally. That's why you'd never make an abjurer.
No, that's why I make a chemist.
It is the well, it is the meaning of the metaphor. There's a lot of poetry in curses.
Ah, okay. Poetry. Okay. So we've got to walk backwards, write a sonnet, and move. Okay.
There have been stupider ideas.
Yeah.
Well, not so much the sonnet, but the walking backwards would do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the Bernard's triumvirate, the three parts of the curse. You have to find a way to reverse each part.
So the stakes might be the site. We've removed the site. We've got to walk backwards, and then the sacrifice. We'll have to find a metaphorical way of saving somebody.
Stupider things have happened. Ah, charming. Can I have a packet of Monster Munch as well?
Okay, yeah, no, I've got to go. Thank you though.
Ta-ta!
Goodbye.
That was helpful, love. He's yeah.
Yeah, just remember the rule. If he has the second creme de menthe, he can get a little.
Oh, I know.
Abby.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Just in the neck with a ballpoint pen.
Yeah. Okay.
Make your name,
Well,
love. See ya.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. And then I will just go running to go find the others.
Cool. Yeah, you guys see Misty sprinting down the main street of the town towards you, pursued by many bears. No,
I think
I
she,
thought I saw. No.
I think she might have something.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I say that I'm with the group at this point as well, as while I've been patrolling?
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're the opposite side to where I am I running? Like I would run into you. Probably I'd just grab your hand and then continue running. Because I don't want to explain this twice. Mainly because I'm trying to hold it all in my head before it evaporates.
You cannon into Will, grab him by the hand, and Will's old bones wouldn't have taken this a couple of days ago. But he's got a bit of sinew in him now, and yeah, you go caterwauling down the down Main Street. You can see that there are a couple of people out on the street, and it looks like they are moving from places where they had previously found a place of safety, but isn't their home. They're going home, or they're going to check on people, and it is very much they are looking out the door, looking both ways and running. But so yeah, you are running past other people basically.
Okay. Okay. Well, Granny, Uncle, I've got something. It's
Ah, did your shunt work?
Uh, no, well, it's done something. I don't think I've made it worse, but I'm out of spell slots. But that's not what I wanted to tell you. There's 3 parts of the spell. So, sight, ritual, sacrifice. The sight bit, I think, is here, and I think we've done that by unclaiming the town. We might have to burn the contract as well, but that's.
What about the gallows? Destroy those too.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that could be the sacrifice if we sacrifice the gallows. Like when you minus a negative number, it then becomes a positive. Yeah, that could be fun. And then the ritual, presumably we've got to walk backwards the same circle.
Pretty
times.
I worked out that it was it a clockwise or a counterclockwise circle. I did. I know I worked it out, but I don't remember which one.
It was going counterclockwise. You did get an actual 20 on that for like a 20 or some shit. So yeah. It was the original circle was counterclockwise.
All right, I can run around the town clockwise 3 times, real quick.
Yeah. You might have to do it backwards. Counterclockwise might be sufficient.
I'll try doing it. I'll try running forwards, and see if that changes anything, and then I can start doing the walking it backwards afterwards. Just try to get it done quickly to see if anything changes.
Let's hope you're not allergic.
At this point, you hear clock, 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 as big, heavy raindrops begin to fall from the sky up above. This cavernous black thundercloud.
I cast Expeditious Retreat on myself.
Do it faster.
Very good.
And boom! I am off.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you is to make me... I'll give you advantage because you had the natural 20 last time. And that was such a fucking... That fucked me so badly.
And yet we've still taken this long to get to the bottom of things.
What check? Okay, tell me what check you are going to make to try and replicate a completely geometric perfect circle.
I am going to ask Leviathan.
Now that's smart. That's smart.
I need geometric perfection.
You need robotic clinical perfection.
Yes.
William,
Leviathan?
may I have access to your motor systems briefly?
Yes, by all means. Thank you.
Marvellous.
And turns around and shoots Augustine in the back of the head.
Like he needed permission.
Say again, sorry?
Like he needed permission to do that.
That's such a key question, Mike. Yeah. You feel your legs sort of start to act slightly independently of your body.
I'll do what I can to move with them.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. But the legs are sort of kind of doing everything. I'm gonna I'm gonna ask for performance, and you can do it at advantage. And I'm gonna ask for a DC 10 because Leviathan was the smart play there.
22.
Cool. Yeah, you start to backtrack around this clockwise. It's still going to take a little while because you can't do this at a run. It's not something that can be done super fast.
But casting Expeditious Retreat should allow me to speed it up.
Yes, but not as much as it would speed up regular movement.
No, that's fine.
Augustine and Lillian, what are you doing?
We need to reverse the sacrifice part of it, so he... But is the sacrifice the battle that took place here, or is it the time when the Kyoto died the second time?
It's, I thought maybe it's the sacrifice of the hanging more so than the. 'Cause otherwise, this spell would have happened a long time ago.
So metaphorically, destroying the gallows might be the right thing to do.
You can
And
see by the way there is just like a rancher who's got like a big old pitchfork and just sort of like looking about and then does a run across the street to the like to another building to sort of check on.
why are the villagers look like they're looking for something? Oh, shh. They're being whispered to. This is going to be a riot quite quick if we're not careful.
You actually there is another crack of lightning. And in the can I get a perception check from both of you?
Oh no, that's actually
Nine.
perception. Sorry, 21. I do not have ship perception.
You see a shade for again that lightning crack whispering into the farmer's ear with the pitchfork.
So
And you also see another one on the roof of the church.
oh,
And you see him as he steps away from the house of the people he was checking on. You see his eyes go a little wide as if he sees something. And in fact, he turns around and like fully clocks the shade, as if he can see where it is, whereas you could see where it was for that brief moment. And there is another crack of lightning, and you just see the lightning rod on top of the church topple as if the bracket has broken. Can I get a deck save from either Augustine or Lillian should they wish to try and interpose themselves?
Between the pitchfork man and this falling
Lightning rod.
lightning rod.
Yeah, I think Lily would try.
Go for it.
Ooh. 18. I do not have a good
18.
dex.
What are you doing?
I think she sees like as the lightning rod's going to fall down on him, right?
Looks like it.
I think like how far away is he from me?
Maybe 50 feet.
I think she screams at him in that command voice that says run, and it like supernaturally makes him go. Like the fear of death all of a sudden hits him and he goes to run as fast as he can.
He tanks that saving throw, so yeah, he starts to run. The lightning rod splashes into the mud, the rapidly deepening mud, as a true Volan summer rainstorm fully hits, and he begins to run
Where's he running?
away from you.
Yeah, out of town.
He doesn't reach the edge of town.
Because he slips in the mud and falls into his own pitchfork.
Because without the lightning rod on the top of the church, the tallest pointy metal object around here
It's that pitchfork.
is that pitchfork. You see his body, like his arms fling out wide, and the body just sizzles as it falls into the mud.
We need to get to the gallows now. I go over to him, but I know he's gone.
Toast.
Nice.
Motherfucker took 3d10 lightning damage to the dome.
Yep, and it's not a player character, so he
No,
books.
I tell you what, he has 4 hit points. Let's. Nope. It was low. One not low.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 on the first one.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, he is unfortunately cooked like a goose.
Yeah, I think
You
with that,
see, by the way, the shade with that second lightning flash. You see the shade standing on the roof of the church next to where the lightning rod was,
mm,
and not next to him.
okay,
Could I get a perception?
sure.
Was that everyone or just
23.
Don't beat
23.
that.
Say again?
I don't beat that.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
23. Looking, yeah, around you, Augustine, it's appropriate it's you because you just hear. Just a little chuckle.
Still fucking here.
The gallows. Yeah, I take off.
Cool. You take off running towards the gallows. The gallows sit basically on the border boundary of the actual of the picketed town, so it's still well within inside the circle.
can I chase after?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lily, Misty, you all go tearing off. Will, you are still doing your could I get another performance check for that second lap?
You wanted a DC 10, right?
I did.
Oh, thank God, because that is only a 12.
Oof, lovely, very good. Okay, Augustine, Lily, Misty, what are you doing?
He said,
Do we have to destroy this quickly? It's we have to do the opposite of death.
"We have to reverse the sacrifice." He was punished. Punishment, forgiveness. That could be part of it if it's more metaphorical. He was punished for being here. He was sentenced. So rather than that forgiveness being done,
Oh, was there anyone else in the prison when we were here last time?
no. There's no one in the prison now either, and no one really is here guilty of much, unless either one of you want to confess to something, and I could forgive you for it. She doesn't. She does not look directly at Augustine. I just want that to be clear. That does not happen. Like if this was a TV, there would be a mental note. It's like she does not look at him, even though that is the thing everyone's thinking.
Do you see the cords in her neck tighten as she resists the urge to look at him?
She's
So
more like,
One may argue by the rules of the spell, everyone's guilty. Everyone in this town.
everyone is guilty in the town. Yes, that's true, but that's not our place to forgive them or to give them absolution. It would be the Coatl. I mean, there's none of those here.
so is the rain really pouring down at this stage? The storm is in.
Fucking
Okay.
hammer.
We could try just blowing up the gallows if you really want, Misty.
I mean, I do want that, Granny. I want that so much.
Go on.
You've been looking for
Go
something to
on.
blow up for ages. Out of character.
You've got.
Uh, stand clear. So she'll place the dynamite at the base of the pole,
Yeah.
light it, and then run. She'll shout, "Fire in the hole!"
Yeah, we were setting well back already. It's like,
Rip the little like auto starter off of the fuse. It's basically got some like backwards facing teeth across the phosphorus on the fuse. It begins snaking down as you basically turn tail and run. 12 seconds later, you hear
We can't hear that.
you're that.
That-
Heard that.
yeah. and there is this erupting fireball of just concussive force. Even by the way where you guys are, you've managed to get a decent amount away. You are still like knocked back a little bit. You're not like knocked prone, but you'll definitely feel like boom. Have you ever been close to like a big explosion of any kind? No. You Science Center.
I'm American.
Living for a while. Yeah, you feel it in your lungs, but I can't really explain the feeling other than having felt it.
Is it like a pressure wave that then
It's like being punched
compresses
in the lungs from the inside out.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to check something really, really quick.
The other question is, how high up does the
That was
debris
what
get?
An excellent question. Hang on, Western Mars Gold. 100 feet in the air. Roll me 2d20.
2d20, okay. 19. Natural 20.
Oh,
Wow.
Pieces of the gallows are distributed 390 feet into the air. As you are all absolutely sprayed with splinters, and you can see like the ripples where the mud has been pushed outwards around, just up in the air. Bits of wood just raining down. And as you do so, can I get a perception check from everybody?
Ooh,
13.
11.
17 plus. Why have I? 19.
19. What was that for Augustine?
15.
Misty. There's something in the clouds.
Is it debris?
Besides the debris.
This is where this would have been really good if we'd done the session in person, because I don't think this noise is gonna come across the Discord. But let's fucking find out. You hear enormous wing beats and didn't go for it.
I caught the very end. It's like a screech, like a animalistic screech.
Yes, but so like an eagle, but
Yeah.
instead, like what people think eagles sound like, as opposed to what eagles actually sound like, which is a bit like bad chickens.
Huh.
Yeah.
Say again, sorry.
Lily,
Yes.
you look to your side, and you see a figure standing there, but it's not the dark shape of a coyote.
Right.
It is an old woman standing in the rain, just in the mud, but seeming not to sink into the mud. She's wearing a long, comfortable wool shawl and leaning on like a hornbeam stick, and has a big, like, black witch's hat, like a pointed witch's hat with a wide brim.
Is it a woman I recognize?
You've never seen her before, and you absolutely recognize her.
Okay. So she kind of just.
Sorry, Karen.
I think Lily just kind of doesn't turn to look at her because that feels disrespectful somehow, looking into the face of death. She just kind of says, "Is there anything to be done for these people, or am I chasing up a tree with no crown?"
You get the sense that this is a voice you don't want to hear, at least not in this plane. But the sense you get, almost not quite telepathically, because telepathically implies like magic or that kind of thing. This is just to quote a very, very great man. This just in all capital letters is in your understanding of it. Just wait and see. This is our kind of people. And you see out of the clouds dives a bird the size of a galleon, like close to 100 feet long. It is a pure black as night bird, and electricity just crackles all along between its feathers. And as it swoops past, so comes the storm. And its wing beats are thunder, and its cries are the gale. And you especially, being as you are a cleric of not just death, but death, you know a psychopomp when you see one. You know how no one rolled above a 9 to work out what the Kyotl's burial ritual was?
Yeah. Oh, storm. Yeah.
You see the ground that was underneath the gallows, where it has just been turned into a crate, like a rippled crater, with several stages of like shockwave coming out from it. You can see from directly underneath it, bones are beginning to become uncovered by the high winds, and are being whipped away into the storm. As are a bunch of coyotl skulls from the edge of the circle. They are borne aloft and completely lost to sense and sight. And just as quickly as it arrived, this enormous bird is gone into the storm. And what remains is just rain. Not the oppressive thunder and lightning, just dogged, heavy, and all of you can tell this even though you don't quite know why, natural rain. And the world goes absolutely pitch black on this dark night anyway, at a close to a new moon, but with these black clouds overhead, the world is just extremely dark very suddenly. What would you like to do?
Am I right in thinking that rain is actually incredibly rare in the desert?
No, not at all. It comes every summer, but it's a bit like the problems we had in England this year, of if the ground bakes for long enough, rains tend to flood very quickly.
Well, I believe Will is still trying to make the third lap of his geometrically perfect circle.
Funny you should say that. About this time, just as you see the beak of the bird, this chased silver horned beak, dip through the clouds, that is the moment that you cross the threshold of the circle for the third time. Give us that performance check anyway. Just for old time's sake.
18.
Marvellous. You are all suddenly becoming extremely damp. What would you like to do?
I think Lily turns to, turns and says, "Right,
Is it
what
done?
do your eyes? Yes, what do your eyes see now?"
Do you want to?
I will have to. I spent all my spell slots.
You begin to ritual cast the spell. You're probably going to have to get somewhere drier and out of this high wind to do the actual ritual cast. So you head back. Where are you heading?
Church, probably a good shout.
Church, yeah. On the way back, just in case this hasn't done it, I will give a confession as well. Um, so, Granny, in case this hasn't worked, and you were saying that the answer is forgiveness, I ran away from home to go. Yeah, that's why people have been calling me, and the big owl's been looking for me. I ran away to go find my parents who have disappeared out here. They said it was too dangerous and that I was too young, but I had to go.
Wait, you're looking for your parents?
Mm.
Well, I, I forgive you for doing that, but I don't think I'd much have to. I'm given I'm out here looking for my grandkids. I don't have much of a leg to stand on, really, for looking out for lost things. It feels a lot like everyone. You like there's dogs. You're not looking for like your parents, your children, a niece or a cousin. So nothing. Right. Well,
But you say there's not much to forgive, but surely that is forgiveness, acceptance. Is that not the ultimate form of forgiveness?
I guess it is. Well, then take what forgiveness you can.
Thank you. And then to the church.
Yeah.
Cool. You head in. You lay out. How does Richie? How's Richie Ritual cast? How does Misty Ritual cast? What does that look like for her as an artificer?
So it will be a combination of she will sort of carve runes onto the floor, and then she will pull a mysterious liquid from one of the many vials that she has, and will kind of fill the runes till they start to glow and coincide.
Perfect. Yeah, you go through this. You sort of dropping little bits of acid and stuff onto the floor and various things. It's like hits as it hits the stonework, and yeah, you feel your head begin to sort of throb with that familiar magical pulsing, and your detect magic comes online. You look out into the street, and what is immediately obvious is that the tendrils, that blanketing network of thick, diseased veins of curse, don't appear to be overlaying the town anymore.
The tendrils are gone. Is anyone in the church?
No.
Okay.
You can absolutely go to the pub, for example, where the
Yeah. I'll check us as well. I assume we have not gained that, because that would be a real.
That would be a real big move.
Yeah, that. Well, I was going to say that's very much a sideways step, and I think I'd have another phone call and a very angry conversation after that. Good news, bad news. We saved the town. I'm now in mortal peril.
Again.
Yeah. Let's go to the pub, if that's.
The people seem to be completely free of their tethers.
How's the mood?
Yay.
The mood is low.
But is there a difference in their demeanor? Do they fear? Do they seem like they have less weighing on their shoulders?
Not really. As you pass by the little alleyway where you
Dug down to find the epicenter.
dug down, Misty, do you take a look at that at all?
If Will's going, then yes, I will follow. Because I'm kind of his eyes for this.
Where you dug down, it's begun to already to. I mean, it's any hole that is left that hasn't like collapsed in or been filled by the wind and rain is now just full of water. But you dig the hole out a little again, and sitting about 8 inches below the surface is blood. the blood that this town was built on.
Okay.
So
Yeah, this town needs to be disbanded. People can't live here anymore.
yeah, my theory is we've dispelled the curse, but the foundations that built it still exist.
That is no check required. A good way to describe it.
Cool.
All right, let's go check out the church, see if the people are still tethered. Not the church, sorry, the pub.
Yeah, you head in, and yeah, there the those thick veins which were wrapping people and just entering into them are gone.
So
Ladies and gentlemen, we believe we have managed to resolve the curse. For now. You should be safe for the night. Just try to avoid doing anything too dangerous or stupid. But you should be able to weather the night and weather the storm. And come out the other side whole and healthy.
Can I find the mayor and kind of like pull him to the side?
Yeah.
Just a sec. I need to speak to you before once everyone else is gone. All right?
Yeah, he will. Yeah, like he does have a house, so you can absolutely just go and find him at his house where there will be people. There won't be anybody else.
Yeah. So we go to his house.
He sort of is there. He goes to his desk and like pours out like a fairly big glass of strong alcohol and sort of offers you one.
Well, ordinarily, I'd say no, given my age, but given what we just experienced today and the amount of people that have been attempted murdered and murdered in front of us, I say, why not?
Yeah, pours you out. Clink. Puts his hat down on the desk.
Now, the reason I need to speak to you, and I guess everyone else is here as well.
Anyone who wants to be can.
Yeah, if you invited us along, I'd go.
Yeah. It's like it's pretty clear what we need to talk to the mayor about.
Mm-hmm.
So we've removed the pickets around the town. Legally speaking, you can still stay here. I wouldn't. This town is cursed. More specifically, like the location is a hotbed for it. It was built on blood and death, and currently I don't have the skills to fix it. Might be able to do one day, or perhaps a more powerful cleric out there of a different god might be able to do something about it. But right now, if another Kuato figures out what you did and you execute him, they'll just do the same thing again, and you'll all end up in the exact same situation.
You know, the company actually pays us each a stipend to stay in this place and keep the town running, in addition to what we earn from the mine and businesses here. Man, there is not enough gold in the world.
It's very possible they knew about this, by the way.
Can I get insight?
I'm rolling this.
yeah, me too. I'm very curious. Oh,
25.
25. Okay. You see the single like crystallizing moment as it hits him that of course they fucking knew. Or at least they
suspected,
or but it's not so much he realizes that someone knew as like he realizes that there is no, this makes perfect sense, that they wouldn't, even if they didn't know, they wouldn't have cared if they did.
Have you managed to do what every current tabletop RPG designer done, is then capitalism is the evil? Because the fire, yeah.
Firebug Company, capitalism is evil. But in Latin.
Capitalismus malus est.
Yeah. There's a meme going around that's like all current tabletop RPG products are the capitalism is the evil.
I mean, they're not the only evil thing.
They're not the only evil thing, but they're in there. Yeah. Right. Yes. They don't care about you, dear. You need to get the hell out of here and convince the rest of the people here to leave. Anyone who stays is liable to run into the same problem again.
How far do we have to go?
The picket line, it appears that it's isolated around there, but I wouldn't. I need to confer with my colleagues for a moment outside of earshot. So I come out, just out of their earshot. You know, there is a place where they. Why are you shaking your head at me already? You don't even know what I'm going to say.
I think we know what you're going to say. There is a wonderful little
I think
Think of a
settlement.
stupider idea.
There is a settlement not too far from here that was recently unearthed that could potentially hold all these people. But I'm not really sure these are the kind of people that we want to be in our town.
They didn't do nothing. Not really.
Do you want them to accidentally find another form of ruin sickness?
Really?
A very
Oh,
short, stabby form of ruin
Not
sickness.
intentionally, but if they just
right,
you know,
right. There's a sinister undertone to almost everything you say, so I need to be very careful about if you mean I'm going to cause this or this might happen. And I'm not.
Be a real shame if something happened.
I understand. They're a little bit racist. I grant you. I grant you that more than.
There is also the fact that we're looking to move on and come back there eventually, but we could not guarantee their safety in that location.
Why don't they just move to the other side of the mine?
Could do that. Yeah. Well, if they're so, my concern also then is twofold. If we're not giving them the location we have, then I suppose they're already scared of it for the ghosts and other things that they think are there. So I suppose they won't have any chance of ending up that way.
You also think back to something the foreman said, the guy who almost got pierced by the weather vane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the mine's almost done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this place is basically worthless anyway.
Be gone anyway.
Yeah. Without
What they would be staying for is the stipend from the Firebird Company, which is on its own enough to, keep someone quite comfortable.
Yeah.
But that would be just to secure this trading trading sort of nexus point.
Yeah. But it's not going to be there because they can't stay there. All right. Well then, where are they going to go then? We have to suggest. I guess they can go to Elysium. That's the nearest place they can get to.
They could head north to Fort Morgan.
That's quite a distance to be traveling with this many people.
The other thing to consider is it's not necessarily your job.
Yeah, we could just tell them to get out, and it's up to them. They could even choose to stay here if they wanted.
It's not your responsibility to ensure they go to a particular place.
No.
Yeah.
We could give them a couple of rules if they do found a new town. It would have to be called Mercy, and the death penalty is banned.
Maybe not Mercy, though. It might evoke thoughts of Mercyville.
How about just don't build on anything where a whole bunch of people are murdered?
No, that's good advice all the time.
Their skulls were piled into a center of the
It's
town.
more don't cause the murdering as your foundation. It's less that the murders happened there, and more that was the motivating catalyst. Yeah. Yes.
I suppose yes, as a thing, don't cause murders, and as a preference, don't build on murdered ground.
Let them do what they want.
Can we chat for a second out of character?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I gather that one of the possible options that even Joe had in mind was, hey, here are some villages for you to populate your novum.
That was not what I had in mind. Just out of character, yeah.
Okay.
Lifting the kettle.
But either way, that is, we do have some people here that we could use to populate some of Novum. But I personally feel like we can't guarantee their safety there because we've not made it safe yet. Like we've not put up any defences or anything. We've not allowed them to hide, and also some of these people are in bed with the Firebird Company. Like, I don't think everyone is going to be all, more pissy with the Firebird Company for putting them in danger than willing to sell information about this precursor site that is undiscovered to these Firebirds.
True.
I think I am perfectly happy to allow people to move in there eventually, but
Just not
not
these
now and not these people. And I think that's what Will is going to try and get across.
Yeah, that's fine. Lily's very much a pragmatic kind of. They can't stay here. I don't want to see them stay here because that's willfully negligent.
Correct. I am all for sending them on.
The OSHA guidelines on cursed locations are very clear.
Yeah.
You don't have to build a new home, but you can't stay here.
So I think so she goes back to the mayor and she goes did you want to?
No, you go for it.
Okay. After conferring with my colleagues, I think your best bet is probably to head to Elysium. It's the closest place you can get to.
You don't have to, though. You can go wherever you choose.
And you don't have to go together. I imagine some of you've got family in other places.
I have a cousin at Widow's Gulch who'll put me up for a little while, I'd imagine.
Right. Go where you need to go, but get out of here and stay safe. And unfortunately, this place is going to be ghost town in a couple of months.
Well, technically, it's already a ghost town. You just didn't know it.
That's true.
If you can also get everyone else to spread the word about what this town is, so that you could try and avoid people settling here again.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to pass it on.
Yeah. Whatever feelings you have about the fire birds, maybe don't be so overt about it. Mostly because, well, they get a bit angry. So, anyways, we've done our best. We've saved your lives.
Appreciate that some of you may be a bit pat out that you're losing your stipend. So if you need, or any one of your citizens need money to help them on their travels, to help.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I think at this point Will is going to go to the sheriff's office and loot it.
Fair.
I am gonna step out at this point because you're in capable hands. If anyone can get you a loan, it's this man.
Augustine.
Hello.
I'm going to say this will represent. So, what I'll say is it's about 10 o'clock at night at this point. So anyone even people who haven't battened in have gone to bed. So where are you guys staying tonight? Are you staying in the pub? Are you heading back to Novum? Are you camping out, which would be inadvisable? What's the plan from here for tonight, at least?
It's just the pub.
Cool. Cool. So you guys, you can all long rest. A-okay. You get your spell slots back and everything. By the next morning, the rain has slackened off, but it's still raining. It is that there are just true rivers of mud flowing, down between sort of bits of the terrain. You can see that these switchback canyons, some of them have turned into true proper mudslides with the rain that's there. You can see, unbeknownst to everyone else, you guys can see the cave, the cavern canyon that contains the ruins of Novem, and that, by virtue of the terrain, seems to be spared the worst of the mud being dumped down on it. But it's very much still raining. You can see the people are packing the fuck up out of this town. The word has got around. You can see the saddlery where you cast calm emotions is empty of animals. All the ants, the one horse has gone, the beetles have gone, and at a pretty premium. Augustine.
Hello.
could you roll me a persuasion check at advantage to profit off this difficult time?
The first was a 2.
Yeah.
Second was a nat 20.
Oh,
This is a perfect time for this to happen. What are the rest of you guys doing? As the morning breaks.
I wish I hadn't dropped that goal now.
you dropped the
Sorry,
goal.
I'm really
Oh.
sorry,
Oh.
dude. I think Lillian is. I think she's kind of. Maybe she's carving something into a stone down where the gallows was that says like um they now rest in the sky, the Quetzals that were butchered here. Let no person take domicile in this place.
Very good. Yeah, like I'd ask for like a tool check, but I guess performance.
Sure. 7. That's a bad, but 7 plus something. There it is. Performance. 10 total.
Okay, so there is a real ugliness to this. This is not a piece of art, but the ugliness is sort of somehow fitting. This was an ugly thing, and this is an ugly marker to mark its place in the world. Misty and Will, what's he up to?
Well, as I said that last night, Will was going to the sheriff's office to loot it.
Yes. Okay, the sheriff's office. You guys dragged the sheriff's body back here, right?
I think.
Or did you leave it out on the
so.
boundary?
No, I think we would have dragged it back there eventually because Lily would have eventually grabbed all the bodies, like all the
Yeah.
dead.
That's fair. I'm just gonna roll something real quick. All told, 8 people were killed by various accidents. Some that you saw, some that were only discovered later. And yeah, they all need burying, but Lily, you can, just in your sort of off time, see to the correct rites and ensure they are buried just outside of the circle.
I don't add to it.
So you dragged the sheriff's body back, or the deputy,
Deputy,
I
yeah.
should say, not the sheriff. Yeah. Will, can I get an investigation check?
Sure. Natural 20.
Damn, dude. You guys are killing me. Okay, so you find
I mean, this dice rolls below 10 a lot, but when it rolls high,
well, hi. Yeah, you find first of all a pair of like quite ornate, like silver and horn-handled pistols that he had in his gun belt, and the gun belt itself.
yeah, taking those.
You find there is a little safe in the sheriff's office, kind of like in a like you are going through the office, seeing everything in there. A lot of it is like bounty notices and like paperwork, and it's messy and there's like scraps of food and stuff in it. It's like not a well maintained place. But you do a thorough fucking job with a capital T, F, and J of stripping this place of assets. And in the course of your investigation, yeah, you find a little wall panel that sort of slides down. There's a little safe behind it. Do you have access to thieves' tools? Or
I do.
Excellent. Yeah, roll me a thieves' tools check.
There's a dex.
Yeah, please.
Shit. Can I say intelligence instead?
No.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so it's a +1 to this.
I could outwit the lock.
That's a total of 5.
Okay, you are rapidly defeated by this lock, I'm afraid. The safe itself is maybe like 18 inches tall by 12 by 12. And it does look like it's only placed into the wall rather than set into the wall. So you could carry it out but whatever is in there seems heavy.
Don't suppose I could take my just summon a sword to then just slice off the hinges or something.
If you want to roll an attack roll, you're very welcome to.
Yeah, sure, why not?
The dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
17.
Oh, okay.
Still doesn't meet the AC of the safe, I'm afraid. Yeah. Misty, what are you up to right now?
I would like to quietly observe Augustine with his sales pitch.
Wonderful. Augustine, you are in the middle of your patter. Like, this is... How rehearsed is this at this point for you?
Oh, very.
Yeah. It's sort of like everyone's getting the carbon copy, same dashing smile, same everything. Very good. Misty, can I get a perception check from you?
That's 5, 7 total.
Augustine looks like he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
This is what... He looks like you look when you've got a chemistry set.
Nice.
He looks like Will looks when he is, I don't know, got a nice bowl of stewed prunes and but yeah, Augustine, so you are could I get you to roll 3d4, please? 2d4. There we go.
That's a 2 and a 4.
You get 6 takers. People need liquidity right now. It is an urgent moment, and goddamn, do people need a quick buck to get started for like travel positions and like honestly, a lot of a not inconsiderable proportion of those 6 signatories are people who needed to buy an ant or a travel like a wagon or something off that guy in the saddlery, who by the way has made out like a fucking bandit off of this. And you sense a little kinship in that with just opportunity knocks, and it knocks for thee. Do not ask for whom opportunity knocks. It knocks for thee. You are conducting your business in the pub, or
Yeah, I like in the corner of the pub.
Cool. As you are sitting there, you see a woman walk in. She's got like quite sort of frizzy ginger hair. She's like got like a big round Stetson, like cowboy hat, carrying like a bullwhip at her side and a big messenger bag. You can see that she has tied this massive black horse up outside, and it is just sort of like doing that thing where horses like blow a cloud of steam out in cold weather. Doesn't seem that cold outside, but... And she steps in and goes, Augustine order?
Yep.
Post. And sits down, like, grabs a bottle from the bar and throws a few coins and starts, swigging away. Passes you a letter and a little box, little package, little brown paper package. And says, so what's going on with the stakes?
This town's gone. Everyone's moving out. On to the best parties. Not anymore.
Well, I've got a few more hours of it. Enjoy your mail. Turns around, walks out.
Do you mind waiting? Only another, I don't know, hour or so. I'll pay you for your time. I've got a few more things to send back.
I'll be around town for the morning.
Perfect. Chuck up some coins.
You can see, by the way, a big tin star sheriff's badge on her like duster lapel. So this is a sheriff. Yeah, you got a letter and a little box, little package.
I'll wait for all of the regular business to be conducted before I open either of them.
Cool. Which to open first?
The letter.
Dear Mr. Alder, I'm writing from the desk of the Harlem Drywall Union Bank to congratulate you on your exemplary service in furtherance of the articles of the bank. Your recent efforts to chase up on those delinquent debts that have fallen behind, perhaps due to the tragic loss of the debtors themselves, have not gone unappreciated. Attached is a little token of our appreciation. Yours, the board, Harlan Drywell Union Bank.
Lovely. And I'll open the box.
Inside is a lovely silver pocket watch. Uh, Inscribed on the outside, on one side is a lovely, like, stylized interlinking AA. On the other is HDUB. And on the inside, in the inside of the like the face, like it's in the inside face, yeah, is in commemoration of 15 years. Could I get a very easy int check from you?
That would be a 15.
You haven't been with the bank 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
We on the same page here?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I think we're all on the same page here. We might not be able to see all of the page, but we know we're on the same page.
The morning goes through. You could actually, the rest of you guys see this, tall sheriff, Travolian woman, walking around and handing out different bits of mail to different people, and honestly taking quite a few letters as well of people who are informing people about change of address and stuff. And carts and wagons, and honestly quite a lot of people on foot start to leave Slumbering Hollow.
Oh, I'd like to go and speak to the sheriff.
Yeah. Right.
Excuse me. Sorry, that's the old voice. Excuse me, I have a question for you.
What?
I've got a letter that needs to get to someone back in Ulster. At least I hope they're back in Ulster. However, I believe that any letters going to this individual will be intercepted at... I've forgotten the name of the damn capital. Harlan, yes. Intercepted at Harlan by those in charge there.
Aye.
Do you have any way of ensuring that the letter is not intercepted?
Leave it with me.
And will hand over a letter, which I've once again forgotten to write.
Got you back, buddy. Lillian,
does it cost him any money? I probably should do. How much money does it cost?
It's gonna set you back a couple of gold, but the
proceeds from the sheriff's office cover it?
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Rich, regarding your last two messages, no worries. We will talk separately. I'll send you a couple of messages. With regards to the second point, there will be. I was just writing a letter in my head as I went along. Yeah. You got. Okay, you got. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, the proceeds to the sheriff's office will easily cover whatever is. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm also gonna call Misty on my headpiece to her phone.
Yeah.
Misty, I have a safe here in the sheriff's office. I was wondering if you could maybe come along and have a look about maybe opening it.
Sure.
I know you're a chemist, not a machinist, but maybe you've got something for it.
I might be able to work something out. What?
Preferably not explosive. There might be something nice inside.
Okay, yeah, I've got a plan B. Cool. So, yeah, I'll skip along. Do I? If it's the sheriff's office. Oh, sorry.
Before you leave the
Yeah.
pub, I know you said you were looking at what Augustine was doing.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, while she didn't spot anything in his patter and what he was doing speech wise, the one thing you will notice is that Yul has a bag of money, and every time he concludes his business with a person, he hands the money, bunch of coins on the table ready for them to take immediately.
I'll be honest, that was the bit I was way more interested in. Because I'm
That's
trying
fine.
to.
Yeah, if so,
And I'm not
even though you didn't roll
subtle
two,
about it either.
Yeah, I'm not looking to steal it or anything. Like everything else, I'm looking to find out how it works. Because it's not obeying the normal laws of physics. So I'm curious as to the mechanism behind that. Because you've got something similar with the legal papers as well, don't you?
I think Rich is having stuff.
Oh. Cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to find out how it works. You've got something similar going on with the legal papers as well, don't you? There's you pull out.
The
Do I remember
contract.
that you can pull out the contracts and it looks like it's only able to hold one or two, but it's always you seem to be able to pull an infinite number of these contracts out. Have I remembered that correctly? No. Okay.
It's just the contract's plain piece of paper. Nothing special about them.
So yeah, it would be. I mean, the sales pitch is obviously mildly curious, but way more interested to see if. I guess trying to observe any magical effects, mechanical effects, or which I'm assuming I don't notice anything, because I don't even have. Like, I haven't got detect magic up or anything. I'm just.
Doesn't look like it.
Yes, I would say on your roll, it looks like the bag is full of money.
One thing I'll say is you have cast your eye over not Lucius, Augustine before, while you've had to take magic on. And while the business card he has does detect as magic, the bag doesn't.
I knew there was something else other than the bag that was of interest.
I think we might have had this conversation before, yeah.
Yeah. So not the contracts, but yes, cool. Okay. Thank you very much. But yes, I will skip along. So you said it's the sheriff's safe.
The deputy's safe.
The deputy's safe.
Right.
In the
Cool.
sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Or sorry, rather, maybe I should have said the jail.
Yeah. So the sheriffs are an organization. They are like mobile. The sheriff stations are places set up in each town for them to do their business. The people who stay there and man them constantly are the deputies.
So, just from a point of self-preservation, the safe in the sheriff's office that belonged to the deputy, but there is currently an actual sheriff in town.
The safe would have belonged to the deputy.
Okay. So cool. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no, as long as I'm not going to, because that feels like a fight that we're not going to win, and I don't want to find out. So, cool. Skip along to the safe. I have thieves' tools.
Go on, give it a bash.
Can I provide? Use the help action, as I am also proficient?
I would say you can provide the help action. Yeah.
So you have advantage, Mike.
Yeah. I'm just working out what the first one is because it's Dex plus proficiency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is, what is our proficiency at now?
+2.
2. There we go. So that's a dirty 20.
Okay.
And that's an 18. So.
Okay. So with Will's help of sort of, it's a bit of a dirty job, like a botch job. Like you get most of the tumblers like clicked in place. And then the last one, it's like you're kind of scratching it and like you feel something like bend in there, but not enough to like this is not going to be a serviceable lock on the safe after you're done opening it.
Yes.
But after maybe 10-15 minutes of work, this was a quite a nice lock on. It looks like it's like the Harlan Safe Company on the front, and like is a reasonably like expensive safe. Inside, you can see quite a few silver trade bars. They are sort of like Toblerone sized. if not 8. And yeah, like you think you've got maybe 140, 150 gold's worth of silver in here. There are also a bunch of bounty notices that
Ooh.
are complete. They have been signed off, but they have not yet been claimed.
As in, we could go to a bounty outpost and hand these posters in to get money.
Yes. However, to do so would be fraud.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just giving you that. You would know that offhand.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll give them to Augustine. It'll be fine.
Especially Will, you would know that having worked in the clerk's office, you've seen this process from the other side, basically. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, it's mostly sort of this does look like more of a business safe than a personal safe. It's not like photo albums and stuff in here.
Would those posters, though, been brought in by other people, been paid out by the deputy, then need to be paid back into the, like, in that kind of, like, so...
Exactly that, yeah, you've got it entirely.
So...
So it's fraud because we'd be impersonating the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean...
I can see a little smile on Brad's face, and it's a lovely one.
Several of my other characters would go, fuck that. It's free money and no one else is going to use it.
That's true, that's true. I am also going to be right back, actually.
I mean, maybe we're the new deputies of Nova.
Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, I guess we've now been deputized for this town.
This town doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I might grab the deputy's badge, though.
Was it 150 gold pieces in gold bars?
He said 140 to 150. But yeah.
So split the diff. 145.
I mean, 140. I believe that. No, it doesn't.
That'd be 35 if you're dividing it. If you're dividing it by 4. 144 would be 36. If we're going for near middle.
Rich.
Hello.
Does Augustine also do a money changing service? Like, could we give you 150 gold's worth of silver Toblerone bars, and we get gold back from you?
No,
No,
afraid
okay.
not.
Okay.
That's not because he doesn't want to. It's because he can't.
That's fine. I thought I might as well ask anyway, just in case.
Yeah.
His bank has very specific services.
I know.
Services.
What's Augustine's view on impersonating sheriff officers?
Deputies.
Impersonating members of the sheriff's office, like as a whole. So yes, a deputy in this.
I'm not going to stop you.
Okay.
I think everyone was rather hoping you'd do it.
No. It's more, as you've said many times, you're a legitimate businessman, and sometimes legitimate businessmen don't like to get mixed up in
Shady operations.
Legally questionable transactions.
As the wise changeling once said, one crime at a time.
That is true.
Well, wherever possible, Augustine is lawful evil by default. So
that tracks.
Yeah. So, but the gold. So the silver bars you said was 140 to 140 to 150.
140, yeah.
So 140. If we split that 4 ways, is 35 gold each.
Yeah.
Are these? We can spend them as, even though they're silver bars. Do we have to get them changed?
Giant coins. They are currency, but in bar form. Yeah.
Just for ease of use, can we just record that we've gotten 35 gold pieces each?
Absolutely.
And we'll just assume that the next time we get to a large settlement, we get them exchanged.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Cool. So at 35 gold each.
It was so tempting to split it in half just so that I could afford another dynamite stick, but hey, let's. We'll continue to share the wealth.
Speaking of, like, now that I mean, Misty, you're aware of like various supplies you would need to get machines up and running in Novem, and stuff will be going cheaper than it otherwise might because they can't take it with them. So if you guys are looking to buy anything from the PHB, you'll be able to get it at half price. Anything that is not in the PHB, let me know if you're looking for it.
So, do they have any precursor tech, specifically active
No.
data pads? No.
None at all. No.
No.
They
That's
do have stuff like arcane crystals, and some of the higher end shops have stuff like arcane crystals and copper, and things that are useful in repairing. If you want to just get like a grab bag, essentially of X gold or whatever amount of stuff to, of like repair.
Well, I'd quite like to buy some just empty glass vials as a starting point, because I think I've only got a few left. Well, oh, vials, they're a gold apiece.
Mm.
Damn. Okay. Where is just the basic?
I'll be right back.
Sure. Augustine, in the meantime, you had asked the sheriff to stick around. Are you sending a letter back to the bank that we can discuss at some point in the week?
I more think it's for everything I've just done that has paperwork associated with it. So it was mainly
sending that stuff. Got you. Okay. Yeah.
If there is anything interesting in the letters that needs following up, I will. But there's nothing.
Nothing urgent. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have a think, but I don't think so.
Sure. Lillian, what are you up to this fine morning?
So after Lillian's kind of buried all the dead, and made sure that everyone's had proper burials, created her little effigy, she's kind of looking around the town as people leave it, and just kind of watching as people go, making sure that just people have like what they need to leave. And then I think she'll, I don't know, feels like a weird time. Because she goes back to thinking about where the prophecy that was told to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she sits down on the ground, and then she's kind of looking for one of the people that got close. The woman who cut her finger.
Yeah.
She's looking for her. She walks over to her. Says, "I need to borrow you for just a wee moment, dear."
Okay.
It's nothing terrible. Just give me your hands for a second. And then she takes her hands and she casts augury, and she's asking the question: if I head towards Elysium, will it put me closer to my grandchildren?
What are the options in augury?
Wheel, woe, and wheel and woe. So both. Positive, negative, and unsure. Oh, actually, I think there's one nothing as well.
Wheel and woe.
Thank you, dear.
She sort of like shakes her head and isn't quite sure what just happened, and sort of just walks off a little dazed, as if like her brain is already deciding that that's easier just not to confront that.
Yeah.
By the time the sun is high over Main Street at noon, the town is all but abandoned. The shutters have gone up, the boards have been nailed across for people who might want to come back and pick up more stuff than they can carry right now. But the population of this town, which was, not much more than 100, has completely filed out. And you are left standing in the rain in these channels of mud flowing down Main Street in a true ghost town. What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, before everyone has actually gone, was there anything that we had identified that we needed for Novum that this place could provide?
Unless you guys had thought of something specifically. Not specifically.
Okay.
Like, just like bits of like
Ooh, I know. Wanted to go to the mining shop
yeah.
and get some things like some pickaxes and some maybe even
Absolutely
some
fine.
small blasting caps or whatever,
Sure.
just so that we can like excavate a little bit more of Novum. Should
Spare
we want to.
shovels, pickaxes, yeah, that kind of thing. Absolutely fine, yeah.
Like if we wanted to be able to expose the solar panels to light more readily.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you can absolutely. Yeah, the mining supplies store is not doing tremendous business in this town that is running away from a place with a mine. Yeah, absolutely fine.
How much would that set me back?
I will have a particular look at the PHB. How much did I say it was for dynamite?
50 gold pieces.
50. Yeah, if you want to get like dynamite, it will be yeah, that I would say they're probably dynamite is portable and sells as good anywhere in the world, so dynamite probably will be full price. But the pickaxes and the shovels, which aren't as imminently transportable, yeah, again, half price you can get them for. I think they're in the PHB.
Okay. I mean, could just wait until everyone's cleared out and then break in after they're gone. How moral am I
No
feeling?
law outside the picket, my friend.
Exactly. Oh, also, nicking the picket posts. We might have use for them later.
I see what you're doing.
So, I've created a shopping list. Everything in there is in the
Absolutely fine. Yeah.
except for I was looking for some copper that I could then strip into wire. Just would you have a rough idea of cost?
I would say if you drop 20 gold on bits and pieces, that would give you a very solid foundation for like building materials.
That's what I'm looking for. Kind of like a
Absolutely.
not infinite, but like because my supplies have run pretty low, and I want to keep tinkering, and I don't want you to say, "Oh, you've run out of stuff." So
what I'll say is, like for every 5 gold you spend, you can get advantage on one check related to trying to rebuild technology.
And is that at normal prices? So this comes at half price, or
So
is this?
That is separate to the whole
Okay.
offer. Yeah.
Because it's no longer in the. I've moved outside the player handbook. Okay, cool. That's fine. Right. Let me just.
Yeah, like these last few trades, like the shovels and stuff, and the bits of copper wire. These are happening. You are actively walking along behind the carts as like someone is driving them and someone is just flinging stuff out the back at you through the canvas flaps of the wagon. Yeah.
5 gold pieces.
You can see off in the distance towards the south. You can see that it is sunny over Elysium, over the sea towards the south. Like you can see the edge of the cloud, basically. And but all the way northwards, as far as the eye can see across the continent, it's still very much dark skies and thick grey cloud, and like how rain looks from the side as it comes down, like that sort of weird shifting kind of shroud like thing almost. Yeah. Cool.
Well, I mean, once
You-
everyone's gone, I guess. So do we want to head back to our little haven?
I think that sounds perfect today.
It's not a long ride. You hitch up. I said you walked to town, didn't you? You left the.
Yeah, I believe we
Yeah.
did.
You set off northwards. You can see the tracks ahead, that go along the pathway, and then veer off to the right, whereas you're heading straight on.
Like, because it's raining, I presume that we're leaving tracks ourselves.
You are, yeah.
Is there any? Can I make a roll to try and
You can make a survival check. Yep.
survival? Huh. Okay. 15 to try and hide our tracks.
Cool. You're sort of there with in your native Ulster, it would be getting a tree branch and sort of scrubbing with the leaves. It's a bit more difficult in the desert, but the one thing you're taking comfort in is the rain will wash these tracks away in minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. You head back up. You find through those coyotl skulls on the posts, which are again completely upright and none of them appear to have fallen off, despite how long they've been here.
Also, they weren't pulled up into the sky by the arrival of the Thunderbird.
They weren't. That is a very good point. And yeah, you wend your way through the little switchback canyon at the entrance, and you arrive back in Novem. There is like thick mud on the floor, but not nearly so much as there is outside. Not nearly so much as there is, anywhere that it's exposed. This is this sort of natural sort of chimney shape, like the roof of the place is like that in cross section, with the gap between my fingertips there being like a chimney almost. So it's only the rain that falls straight through. So actually, unless you are standing directly underneath that chimney, in the command tent, effectively, you are basically safe from the rain. Is there anything anyone would like to do in Novem?
I think, like, wait out the day. And just investigate, like, using the pickaxes and the shovels, maybe like excavate some more tents.
Cool. Where are you looking?
Let's go in the top left corner up here. Up there-ish.
Is that working?
Yes, I can see a tent there.
Yeah, you spend the day sort of digging away. If anyone else wants to sort of do the same, they're very welcome to. And start clearing. You can also, as we've discussed, juice the generator, directly into the fabric, to try and keep the tent up in places with your witch bolt.
I mean, yeah, I might use a witch bolt to juice the tent, to pop it up so that I can see what's inside it, see what kind of tent it is, so I can identify it, and then you can reveal whatever the writing is on the map there.
Cool.
If there is anything.
It looks to have been basically the mess tent a very, very long time ago. A nameless scientist was given the most purest ideal apple that was ever given in this tent. You can actually see there is some machinery, like similar to those bioprinters that you saw in the in Subsite 334, but these look they're like basically mounted on. There's like tables in here that are long since collapsed, but you would see they would be like on tables effectively. And they are they have like almost like nozzles, like when you
Like when you get sauce at IKEA, kind of like you pull the handle and yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, you think this is like the mess tent, effectively.
Okay. As I've got 2 spell slots, can I excavate a second thing?
I think that's probably even getting the whole thing unearthed is pushing it for a day, so that's
Okay.
probably what we can get done today. Augustine, Lily, Misty.
So can I? Has the generator got enough power to do what Will's doing and power the medical bed?
You would need to interface the biocradle.
Yeah. So I don't want to actually get it to perform a procedure. I want it just to bring up the interface menu.
The interface menu you can make do with its sort of passive batteries.
In that case, can I split my day into 2 halves?
Yeah.
So for the first half, can I try to continue to figure out more potential procedures from the biobed?
Yeah.
And then the other half, can I finish constructing the data pad for Leviathan?
Specifically, what were you attempting to do for Leviathan?
So I'm not doing anything for Leviathan yet, but I'm creating a data pad in which we can exchange ideas. Because I found a whole bunch of broken ones, and I'm part of the way through.
So you're trying to get like a thing you can communicate with Leviathan on without risking
My own personal device.
your own personal one. Absolutely fine. Yeah, you can absolutely roll me a Arcana check that would be difficult, or a technology check if you have it. That would be slightly harder, but I don't think you've taken the skill.
No, so I don't. That's something else I need to talk to you about, but I won't do that now. So I'll do Arcana. Is this for the biobed by any chance?
This is for the data pad.
The data pad. So that is a total of 15.
15. Okay.
I'm currently at 2 successes with the data pad so far.
Yeah, you can add another single success there.
Lovely. Okay, cool.
For the biocradle interface,
Yeah.
that's going to be a medicine check, please.
Yeah, I thought it might be 17.
Okay, you start to navigate your way through menus. It's not very intuitive, like especially to like your kind of very sort of analytical mind. This seems to be sorted into categories that you are not familiar with, and in a structure that you're not familiar with as well. But you, what are you trying to elucidate from the?
So I guess I would start with I guess in order of priority, I'd begin with major trauma. So if any of us were to suffer life-threatening wounds, probably stabbing, I'd imagine.
So you're looking for like triage kind of treatments.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other emergency scenarios we might get into that the biobed will then be able to fix. And if someone's bleeding to death, I don't want to be fiddling with the instruction manual going, hang on a sec.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. You get the sense that this thing isn't for first aid. This is basically like a mobile hospital, but it's the ward part, not the A&E.
Right, okay, so it's for more chronic treatment as opposed to acute.
I mean, you're familiar with... I mean, how many times has Misty been injured in lab accidents over her tenure in the university?
After the 5th explosion, my memory was reset, so it gets a little fuzzy. So,
a good
number.
You've drunk healing potions before.
Yeah.
But you've also, had to have somewhat like Ignatia has slapped you with a lesser restoration when you poisoned yourself with like chlorine fumes at one point.
Hmm.
This seems to be more the latter than the former. It's probably not so good for healing than it is treatment.
Recovery. Yeah. Okay.
Recovery, yeah. Does that make sense? But
It
that
does.
is with 17, yeah. That you make that sort of progress, and you sort of see that's why you were struggling previously, because it's not designed to do the things you were trying to make it do.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Cool. That's
Like,
fine.
Augustine, Lillian.
I think he will spend most of his time in the command tent. I think, firstly, looking through the letters again.
Yeah.
I think if anyone happens to walk by, they may catch him looking at his watch a few times in a similar fashion to how he was staring at the bonfire the 2 nights ago at this point.
Is
and
this
then-
the new watch?
Mm-hmm.
Like the pocket watch rather than your wrist computer.
Yeah. And then in the afternoon, I think when he sort of wakes himself up out of whatever funk he's gotten in thinking about that, he'll then start the downtime project that we talked about before, in regard to the.
I got you.
I think Lillian would probably see that because she's kind of wandering around looking for people to talk to about this prophecy to see if they know anything. So kind of like as she's kind of like and like says something to Augustine, who probably doesn't respond the first time. Augustine, dearie,
Hmm?
are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
That's
How can I help?
That's a very nice watch. I don't think I've seen it before.
It's a gift from the bank.
Interesting. I didn't know they knew exactly where you were like that. That seems slightly ominous, if I'm honest.
I did tell them where we were.
Oh, I just hadn't seen you send any posts or nothing, so but I could have missed it. I'm getting a bit old. Why were you lost in thought about it if it's just a gift?
It makes you, it's a reward for many years' service. It makes you think about, how long you've been with a company and what you've done and where you think things are going.
How long have you been with the company then?
15 years, of course.
Can I? Because like that's got to be like a weird moment. Because Augustine must have. Because that's not right for Augustine.
Like, Augustine would have reflectively have said the actual answer and then realised he needed to say 15 years. So.
Do you not know how long you've been with your bank? What?
No, I do.
You said one number, then you said a different number, and those two numbers have quite a gulf between them. Are you okay?
I am.
All right, I suppose that's the best I can ask.
I mean, when it gets to a certain point, the years sort of blend together a little bit.
Right. I mean, I do know what you mean, but I can track how long I've been on. Broadly speaking, I can track how long I've been on this earth, on this planet, or less. Well, I you know yourself better than me, so if you have any trouble, you can just ask and I can talk it through with you. But what I came over here for was I was wondering if you had any thoughts about this prophecy that's supposedly related to me. And I repeat the prophecy.
You have lost, and those lost sleep amongst the dead, but yet may be saved. Look to the landing grounds.
Seek out my lady's chambers at the landing grounds. That's what you originally.
Correct. That's a very important part of it.
Do you have any idea where the ladies' chambers might be? The landing.
That will be one of the things that I need to come back to you, Joe, on one of the letters inquiries.
So yeah, you. At what point in the day does Will approach Lily?
Well, Brad, you said that Lily was going around chatting to people, just
Yeah, she
wandering
probably.
around.
Yeah, she probably is going around. Yeah, sir.
So about the point that Lily comes to say hi. Okay, so just for clarification, how much of the conversation with Leviathan did Lily reveal to Will?
Which conversation?
The conversation when Will was inhabiting the soldier.
Oh, the conversation about her children.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. That is a complicated. I think in that one instance, everything else she reveals, the only thing she holds back is the fact that Leviathan is looking for her children, because that feels like something that Leviathan kept secret and private for a reason. And that's not hers to tell. So I think that's the only thing. Everything else, fair game.
Cool.
Okay, well, in that case, yes. Lily, it sounds like you've been. You had a nice conversation with Leviathan.
Yes, dearie, I did. I'm not gonna fib to you. She's a scary lady.
Oh, she's all right, really. Wait, why am I speaking like this again? Maybe she's gone to sleep. It's been a long day.
I doubt, dearie. I don't think she sleeps.
The eye just sort of spark doesn't even like glow. It just sort of sparkles a little bit.
Like Lily Lily winks at it because she knows that that must be Leviathan.
Well, regardless, it, I hope that you and Leviathan will be able to get along well in future.
I think we found some common ground, dearie, but I think there might be a long way to go to get us to agreement, as it were. We have a. You should ask her sometime why she's possessed you. What motivates her. Might get a better answer. Might make you have a better relationship with her.
Thank you for the advice. I do think that all of us as a group can aid Leviathan in their goals, and hopefully these goals will be a net positive for us.
I think given her current restrictions on what her programming says she can and cannot do, I think that is verifiably true for now, dearie. But I do. There is something. She still is a terrifying entity. That is fact. And I think she knows that well and truly. She knows that she is a great and powerful creation of magic's long past. I not to say that she doesn't agree with necessarily what we're doing, but she still kind of is in the same realm as a god or anything other being, far beyond our understanding and power. In fact, it's even feasible if she really wanted to and could get into the right position, she could make herself into a god.
From what I've gathered, that is antithetical to her being, in a manner of speaking.
From speaking to her, I don't think so.
I meant God specifically, the divinity part. She was built as a fail-safe against their war.
She was built to ensure humanity's survival. That's what she was built for, dear. How
Still-
she accomplishes that is up to her. If she decides that she wants to pursue godhood in order to fulfill that goal, that's perfectly within the realms of her original mandate, is it not? Or if she. It would not surprise me if she hadn't considered it at one point or another. The problem with it, of course, is getting the followers in order to break the barrier between that and between what she is and divinity.
Something to consider.
It is indeed. Right now, though, she's bound in your flesh bits, as far as I know.
Oh, I'm sure she's still mainly based in the facility, and she's just got a remote connection to me. I'm sure that's what it is.
Sure, that's what you think. But why are you concerned about my relationship with Leviathan? She can't kill me. She could make my life difficult, for a start. But I am willing to be a team player in this regard. And like I said, I found a common ground for us to sit on.
I just wanted to get your opinion on Leviathan.
I think, as I said before, I think she's powerful. I think she's capable of, with the right restrictions removed, she could very well. I get the feeling that there are certain restrictions in place that mean that she hates certain parts of those restrictions, and that if she could have those removed, she would. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Augustine wanders by this very tense conversation.
Shit, I popped in the wrong.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's all on the recording.
That's fine. So, I won't say that I trust her, but I understand her. And that's probably enough. That's more than I can say for whoever took my grandchildren, after all.
Thank you. That's it's good to hear.
Why do you care, though? Is my concern, really.
Well, we're all at the moment. We're all in this boat together, and Leviathan is obviously very important to me and my well-being.
Yes, as
an intrinsic part of who I am at this moment.
Yes, more because of your physical manifestation than anything else. You are alive because of Leviathan.
Indeed. So I was hoping to engender some kind of respect and familiarity.
Well, dearie. I wouldn't say respect. That's not the right word, really. It's very complicated with her. She knows a lot, and she's restricted in certain ways, but trying to say, I respect this creature that's inhabiting your head and using you like a puppet is a bit much for me. Her original reasons for wanting to move you around, they're not altruistic. She wants something from you.
Well, yesterday, last night, she asked permission.
Interesting.
I'm glad that subtlety wasn't lost on you, is all I'll say.
Perhaps she is growing and understanding that she'll get more. She'll get more flies with honey, as the old saying goes. I hope that one day, though, she leaves you. In all honesty, to live your life as you choose without her in your ear, as it were, and so that she can live her life, and as she is willing to let you go.
At the moment, I believe that we can help each other. We'll cross any further bridges when we come to them.
As long as that remains true, I'm happy to go along with it, and not have any other machinations to try and remove her forcefully. And I know she's listening.
I think at the moment, if someone were to attempt to remove Leviathan forcefully, I would object.
Very well, dearie. Very
At the start, I might not have been quite as appreciative as I am now, but I think about what we've accomplished, think about what I've accomplished, and what I could accomplish going forwards, and I very much feel that Leviathan is someone who can assist me. She makes me more than I was. After that weird vision quest thing that happened, I feel more hopeful about myself and the future, and I feel like Leviathan will be a part of that.
You have a lot to live for. Got a lot of grandchildren and children out there. And you got maybe some revenge to look forward to as well. I wish you well. I need to go. And you didn't know anything about this prophecy.
No, I'm afraid not. All I can think of is, well, you know that the expedition that founded Harlan was not the first expedition. It was not the first landing upon these shores by our people. You're aware that Mercyville was the first landing, and that Mercyville is a horrific place that no one wants to go, which is why Harlem was founded instead. But it is still a landing. It might be something to investigate.
It's a landing where people died, isn't it?
Could he roll me history?
Do you want me to roll history?
No.
18 total.
It's not It's not a place where anyone died. It's not a place where anyone dies.
Oh.
Yeah, death might be kinder.
I don't think that's the place I'm looking for based on the prophecy then. They sleep amongst the dead.
They are
No
known
one
as the
died.
sleepers of Mercyville.
Oh. Fuck. Well, maybe I am going there.
What I would say is those are both very good points. They are known as the sleepers, but it very much specifies sleeps amongst the dead.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And the whole fucking horror of Mercyville is that no one dies in Mercyville. So that's something to consider.
I think with that we cut and then we have we go up and she speaks to Augustine.
Augustine, perfect.
Will have a quick conversation with Leviathan as well.
Cool.
Leviathan, I know you were listening. I expect you to be listening to most of these conversations.
Yes, William.
was wondering if we could maybe have Lily have her status updated.
In order to be designated as a network asset, she will need integration into the system.
I knew that was something I forgot. Well, I've just excavated this mess tent. Perhaps there's a working earpiece in here for her.
All over the place.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll grab a working earpiece and hand it to Lily at some point during the day. Just saying, this allows us to communicate without necessarily being next to each other.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Call it Rory's telepathic bond.
Get Misty to help get you set up with it.
Cool. That either.
Yeah, and so Lily puts the earpiece on and sort of bends the wire around to keep it in place. And in your reticule wheel, you see, status updates.
And Lily is now green.
Ooh.
Asset. There's a very fine and very specific delineation between friend and asset.
There is, yeah.
Cool. Do you guys want to? So should we call it there in terms of recording? Because I have to be at the dentist in the morning.